Yes, I know. Why is it already fucking Wednesday? Merry Christmas. Or something. Hi. Hi, scaredy cats. It's me, Scaredy Matt. How you doing? I was just thinking, like, before we started, I had a momentary thought, rather interesting, rather amusing, to think about the fact that I'm a transgender streamer. Duh. In case you missed that bit. I'm a transgender streamer that doesn't have a scene transition. I'm a trans streamer without a transition. The fuck? How do I reconcile this? Anyway, Magic, that's for you. How's it going, folks? How's it hackening? There's two of me now. Enjoy. My ability to speak is gone. Fuck, dude. What the hell? Thanks for the hydration. I actually do have water on me. I'm looking fantastic. Thank you kindly. Do you like my sweater? It's actually purple, but it looks blue. Seeing double here. 4 Abbies. That's entirely too much Abigail. I think some of you would not be able to handle 2 of me. That would just be simply too much. Sound worse. Are you really trans if you don't transition? That's the thing, right? It's like you're still trans. But yeah, I get what you mean. Presume you know what I meant. Yes, I know what you meant. It sounded worse once you typed it out. It's like didn't we make a joke recently? There was a joke made recently where I ended up saying something that sounded rather trans exclusionary. Oh yeah, I referred to the LGB. Or I referred to something and completely dismissed the existence of the T, which is me. And I wasn't trying to be exclusionary, I just for some reason forgot the T in that particular circumstance. Wasn't a joke, it was just a statement what I made. Anyways, my back's itchy. It's not good. There's a tag itching my back at the moment. We're going to get into BioShock tonight. We're going to, fingers crossed, finish it. I think we're at the end of it. I think we're going to finish it tonight. Ironic, you are the T, but you spill the T and want to get rid of your T to replace it with E. True. Yeah, I wish my body forgot the T when I was young. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Do you remember that, hang on a second. Let me go to Twitter for a second. Hello, Rin Vixen. How's it hanging? Where's Ava? I want to show you this video because there was this meme. Not a meme. this. This is kind of relatable, kind of relevant to the whole tea thing. This woman posted a tweet. This is like this is 10 days ago now. This is 10 days ago. Women with deep voices, how does it feel to be God's favorite? And Ava, one of the best persons on Twitter, posted this, and I have to share it with you. Let me make sure the volume is up so you can hear it.
So on one hand, it's actually really cool because the lesbians, let me tell you, they love my voice. But on the other hand, the reason why my voice is so deep is because when I went through puberty, my balls started producing testosterone, which as a woman is kind of fucked up for the Lord to do that to me. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. So
I just fucking can't with this. It's fucking great. I love it. Anyway, I had to share that with you. Because it's just delightful. Anyway, back to the music for a minute, and we're chilling out. We're hanging out. We're not doing anything yet. We'll get into the game in a moment. I promise you that much. Got your first post block. What do you mean you got your post? What? Someone blocked your post, or someone blocked you on a post? I've had people block me recently, I've noticed. It's really funny when you confront certain people on Facebook and they just got done with stream, hopped on Twitter and wanted to say, okay. Sounds good. Yeah, we're back on the Rogue Bitch account. I'm going to fix my hair up a little bit. Oh, you got banned. Oh, that's amazing. I actually came across someone recently. I forget where I saw them. Were they on my post? I think they might have been commenting on my post on one of the Facebook streamer groups that I'm a part of. And of course, you know, I make it obvious I'm queer. I make it obvious I'm trans. Fox, there you go. Give me a sec, because you posted a poll as well. Here we go. This is a weird one, but alright. Ava really sounds like that and looks like that. Yeah, I know. She's fucking perfect. Honestly, it's not fair. It is not fair. It's simply not fair, Ava. Bitch. Anyway. Oh, I can't. Okay. Okay, hang on. I'll have to do it this way. Alright. Here we go. We're going to do Fox's poll really quickly. I don't know what either of these would mean. In the grand scheme of things. Anyway, the Lord, or the one that was cool with changing man shall not lay with child to man shall not lay with man. Oh yeah, that Lord. Hello, Rena. How you doing? Anyway, I was having a discussion. I was talking with people on one of my posts at some point on a Facebook group, and it was all well and dandy, and then someone came in with some stock standard transphobia that they just bought from the Amazon transphobia page. They just bought it and had it shipped out express delivery in 2 days, and they started out aggressively attacking me for being trans, denying my transness, denying my gender, and all this typical stuff. I responded a few times very reasonably, responded to this very blatant aggression. Yeah, Minecraft. And within a couple of posts, and there was another person in there agreeing with me and arguing against them, within a couple of posts they had blocked me because I could no longer respond to their messages on the comment thread, and I'm like, what's going on? I can still see them there, I can still see them saying their stupid bullshit that's informed by complete ignorance. And yeah, I couldn't click on their profile page, I couldn't reply to them or anything, I couldn't tag them. They had just completely blocked me, and it's like, dude, you came at me on my post and you're gonna block me? You came and aggressively attacked me. I defended myself within very good reason. I was holding back. I could have gone hard on you, mate. These people are little bitches. They are always, quite frankly, the definition of little bitches. Anyway. Tonight, my friendos, we are going to play more BioShock. We're going to try to finish BioShock. So would you kindly sit tight and tell your friends to join in? Not that you can join in playing BioShock. Maybe we should do some like party-ish games in the not too distant future. Something that everybody could join in on in the not too distant future. You love my hair? Thank you. I'm very self-conscious about my hair, honestly. I really like when people compliment certain aspects of me. People have, it's a 50-50 split. Honestly, the idea of a Souls-like game set in an underwater kingdom sounds really cool. We'd love if you go on. Yeah, it's cowardice at its finest. It's people who don't want to be confronted on their bullshit. Anyway, so seriously, a few weeks back you got banned from a queer space for discussing your bi pride mug. Okay, so why did they ban you for that? What happened there? Yeah, like you said, they'll come deliver their message and quickly tittle off before they get rinsed. Because they know they're wrong. Right? Imagine being that much of a pussy on Facebook of all places, where you have your account tied to your identity. You can make fake accounts, but it's more effort than a lot of people who use Facebook are going to put in there. And it's always amusing when you're on the Facebook streamer groups and you get attacked by people who have not streamed in like years. So there's still a part of these streamer groups. You make a post. It's like, I'm streaming, I'm doing this. Or you post a discussion post to try to drum up some discussion, and people attack you. And they haven't streamed in ages. And they have no recent posts in the group aside from like commenting on other people's posts. But all of a sudden they attack you for some reason. As
you are
Ray,
now one of us.
Thank you for hitting our daily sub goal right out of the gate. Jesus, goodness gracious me. Thank you so kindly for gifting subs to Seglin, Almond Milkbone, Fallen Arm 6, Barbie Pearl, Midnight Emmy, and yourself, of course. It's just telling you can enter the sub lounge. I gotta fix this damn thing up, honestly. Anywho. It's gonna keep doing the alerts.
You are now one of us.
It's gonna keep doing that. I'll fix that up soon, because you people keep dropping gift sub bombs on me, and I need a special alert from Mix Botwick. Currently working on a baby blanket, a lap blanket for your grandma.
You are
and
now
then
one
I get a
of
pride
us.
blanket. Ooh, I get a pride blanket. My birth month is July, so that's around then. It's not too far off. I'm gonna do a birthday stream at some point when I get to it. I'm planning on having like a birthday dinner with my family at some point. I want to have a nice birthday dinner, which will be a thing. Anyway, your message got lost in subs. What'd you say? Okay, so honestly, don't know. The last thing you said in chat was what the mug said, and you had to leave for IRL stuff. Next time you were in there, you were banned.
Enjoy
That
all
was
the
weird.
delights of the subscriber lounge.
That's really weird. I wonder why they did that. Yes, you haven't streamed in a while, Magic. You're swooning. Thank you so much, Azra. You've made my night, honestly. Already. Before we even started, now I gotta wait for this sub. There we go. It updated now. The sub goal updated. Maybe I should change it. Should I change it because we passed it now? Should I change it to like 10 or something? Probably won't make it this July. That's alright, Rita. That's alright. Don't be sorry for the spam. I appreciate it. I should change my alerts so they're a little bit more punchier. You know, there's a lot of people who've got much more punchy alerts than mine. Mine are a mess. I need to figure out my alerts. They're a bit all over the place, honestly. I don't know what I would change them to, though. I don't know where I would go with them. Not going to name drop the place. You don't want to start anything. That's understandable. But yeah, what would I change my alerts to is the thing. It's like, what do I change my alerts to? I'm not even certain. Because we like Botwick. We like Botwick's voice. We like hearing Botwick. Maybe I should just add, because you can add on, if I go to Streamlabs, for example, if I go to the Streamlabs website, you can actually go in there, you can log in. If you are a streamer, if you want a little bit of a tip, you can go in there and you can say, hey, teach the world to fap. Nah. Anyway, if you go to your alert box, where is it? Subscriptions. If you go in here on Streamlabs into your alert box, you can go down and you can go open alert variations, and you can add an alert variation that is like gifted at least X subs at once, however many subs at once, gifts at least specific amounts, I think, is there? I don't know. At any rate, you can like you can customize the alerts a little bit. So I might go through this and actually add a bunch of variants so that it's a bit different. I also need to change my border over here. This is a bit of a mess. I'm still not I'm never happy with my stream. I'm never happy with anything. No matter how much effort I put into it, I'm never happy with how my stream looks, how it sounds, how it behaves. I always wanted to be better and better and better. And honestly, if I could pay people to do stuff for me, I'd do that. But for the time being, we're just going to have to make do with me doing everything myself. Because also I'm just a selfish asshole who likes doing everything herself. That's really it at the end of the day, isn't it? Appreciate you want the world with more like-minded people, please. I will try my best. That is my main goal, honestly, is to spread the good word of socialism, generally. Well, to spread more progressive ideas. That's all I want at the end of the day. Alright, let's continue. We're towards the end of this. I think we're very close to the end of this. Somebody said we're at the penultimate moment, so we're nearly there. Okay.
Try and laugh at me. Just try.
Ryan sent over extra munitions. He must have suspected trouble.
Oh, hello.
We locked him up in the protector labs and set the code to 1921. I don't expect we'll ever be needing them, though. Once Big Daddy is ready, nobody cross the Big Daddy.
Okay, so we're talking about the Big Daddy. Talking about the experiments that led to the Big Daddy. There we go. What are some of those ideas? Just like improved graphics, improved alerts, stuff like that. At the moment, I'm doing it all myself. So, you know. Hello, Detroit. How you doing? So I'm not even sure where we're supposed to be going. Optimized eugenics. Oh, lovely. We're in the eugenics lab, for anyone who missed that. We were just talking about eugenics last night in a brief interaction with ecofascism that we looked at. That was a fun discussion. I wouldn't mind delving more into that, actually. It seems like there's a lot there that we could unpack. Live subject testing. I'm not quite sure where I need to go just yet, so I'm just wandering around aimlessly looking for stuff. Oh.
You think turning yourself into one
Oh,
of
that's
those
right.
tin men is a two-way street? The crowd's holding auditions for the Frankenstein parade, and you're first in line.
That's right, we're turning ourselves into a Big Daddy. We gotta do that. So, we gotta figure out where we're going. Invent items? Yeah, I'll make some trap balls, why not? Unpacking is nowhere near as fun as being back. What's this? Voice box modification prototype. Oh, gross! I mean, I want to modify my voice box, but I don't want that going down there. Jesus Christ. BioShock does seem like a pretty scary game from the perspective of, like, it's a really oppressive atmosphere. Like, you're in a city that's literally under the ocean. The moment anything goes wrong, and it has, obviously, by the time you get here, shit's gone awry. You know, you would feel absolutely terrified living in an environment like this. I don't know why anybody would do it. So where do I have to go? Oh, hang on. There's a thing here.
Here is where you'll be finding the voice box to have sound like one of those Big Daddy's repulsive creatures.
You're playing a bad hand, kid. You're just too spliced to smell it. Roll on back to Mother Goose now, or everything's gonna go busto.
He's angry. He doesn't seem happy with what I'm doing. Which is understandable, because I'm doing things that are going to be counterintuitive to his own little regimen that he's got going on here. Oh, shit. Oh, you fucker.
We bred little ones to imprint to certain smells, pheromones. But this is not like putting on aftershave. You will need 3 industrial applications of this stuff, and then the little ones will be drawn to you like a bee to honey. You will have to gather 3 pheromones here, so that you smell disgusting. Just like a Big Daddy.
I probably should be hacking these turrets. Oh, there we go.
After
Oh my
all,
God.
This place here is where they built the filthy skull of the Frankenstein. Find the pieces of the suit. Guide
Oh, hello. Goodbye. So I've got to collect stuff. I missed most of that because I fucking... Because I was in the middle of stupid combat. Oh my god. Oh, okay, I'm out of ammo for this one.
I'm gonna show you what it's like.
He's done.
push me too far, kid. When you're cold and stiff, I'm gonna go over to Mother Goose's house, and I'm gonna take it apart, piece by piece, and brat by brat. Consider
Oh,
it your
okay, got blown up. Okie doke.
The boots. I was sure the boots would be here. Oh, shit.
Short specs of what you got. Gigas, welcome to the Rogue Room. How you doing? Little phobia of sharks, you could know it. Well, true. At least you would have the panel of glass between you and the sharks, ideally. But I mean, look at this shit. There's a crack in the glass here. Like, you just simply wouldn't build a city under the ocean. I mean, the sheer logistics of this alone. Can I actually... There we go, we got some stuff out of that. Rapture is a concept that would never work. You know what bothers me, though? You want to know what bothers me, friends? Is there is now, and there was a while back, an idea to turn BioShock into a movie, and now it seems like Netflix has picked up the rights to it.
God damn it. The big daddy boots need to be shipped here.
Hang on a
not
sec.
the damn it library. What kind of idiot is just Ryan hiring nowadays? This kind of bullshit never happened on the Fontaine.
Oh, hello. Find Big Daddy Boots in the library. Alright. We're gonna go to the library, I guess. I'm worried. I'm honestly worried that it may not be the best adaptation. Netflix has got an iffy track record. An iffy track record. Not 100% bad, but not great. How do I... Does that work? That works. There we go. Yeah, I think a series could work. A series could work. Oh, was that alcohol? Did I just drink a ton of alcohol? I think I did. I've never played a... Oh, actually, I have played a VR game on at least one occasion, but I don't have a VR. Auto hack, you're now friend. That'll save us a bit later on. Find the pieces of a Big Daddy suit. I mean, I should probably take the Big Daddy that's in the room. I could probably smack him around a bit. Where is he? I got heat-seeking RPGs, alright. Not a fan of the game, has good story, make movie idea. I mean, some of the games that they're making movies out of don't even have good stories. Like, I mean, I've heard good things about Uncharted, but does it need a movie, is the thing? It definitely seems like it's gone that way of, anytime a young adult novel gets any sort of traction, they make a movie out of it. And the movie's always dog shit. And that's always been the case with games as well. Whenever they make a movie out of a game just because game popular, it never turns out well. I mean, I won't lie, Assassin's Creed had some cool visual effects, but it was still a mediocre movie at the end of the day.
You gotta be rich down here to meet a lady. They don't care how nice you are.
RDR2 had a good story that needed 30-40 hours to flesh it out. Yeah, some games would definitely befit a TV series.
Your sister.
But the thing is, like, if you have a game, like, they're trying to adapt... This is the thing, right? With a book, you have a lot of imagination going on. If you're reading a book... Sorry, I've got to adjust myself here, so just forgive me. If you have a book, you're reading the book and you're interpreting the images in your head. So when a film director picks up the script for a book and transforms it into a screenplay and then adapts that into a film, it's their interpretation of the book on the screen, the visual interpretation of it. If you have a video game, you've already got a visual interpretation of what that world looks like. So if you interpret that game in a way that's not faithful to the source material, people are going to notice. And we've had that happen routinely. I think the most visually faithful, at least, game movie we've had is Warcraft, honestly. There you go, Fox. And I'll hydrate too. Can we see the outfit? It's actually a purple sweater, but the lighting makes it look blue, or my camera does, or something. Yeah, it's just a crop top sweater that I got. It's nice. I like it. It's quite good. I'm a fan. But anyway, yeah, like this is the thing with doing these kinds of things. I really don't think you can. I mean, what I know of the story here of BioShock, if they were to adapt BioShock, it seems like one of those games where you could certainly adapt what we're seeing here into a movie. You could definitely adapt BioShock into a movie, but I think what they might be going for if they do a Netflix series is to adapt, like, say, Rapture before the fall of Rapture. Might be what we're seeing. Maybe. There you go, Magic. Debating with yourself if you have the body for a fishnet crop top. You absolutely do. I don't even know what you look like, but you absolutely do have the body for it. Oh. I'm assuming I'm supposed to go in here. Ah, fuck, that was bad. Bees! Ah, stop throwing grenades at me. Why are you attacking me, you fuckhead? There we go. Sorry, I'm just blowing everyone up. Hey, Rooster, how's it going? Here you go, rescue the little sister. Daywolf, welcome to the Rogue Room, and thank you for the host. How you doing? The Belko experiment? I have not seen it. I've heard good things about it, though.
What can I really do for these little ones? I am tainted by sin. But you, perhaps you unlock a future for them that I cannot even imagine. A little one heads your way with a gift. Please.
Is it alcohol? Not alcohol. I just took alcohol. Is the gift ammunition, I should say? Because I need ammunition. This game drains your ammo like crazy. Enjoying the rosé. Nice, nice. We love to hear it. We love to hear it. Gene Bank.
Could I have made mistakes? One does not build cities if one is guided by doubt. But can one govern in absolute certainty? I know that my beliefs have elevated me just as I know that the things I have rejected would have destroyed me. But the city, it's collapsing before my... Have I become so convinced by my own beliefs that I have stopped seeing the truth? Perhaps. But Atlas is out there, and he aims to destroy me and to destroy my city. To question is to surrender. I will not question.
That speaks very highly to the way a lot of political people think, doesn't it? To question is to surrender. Interesting that. I like that quote. Saw you in the recommended and saw Trans Day of Visibility. It is Trans Day of Visibility, heck yes. Check this out. Check this out. I got a trans pride ring. Because heck yes I do. How you doing, Daywolf? So fucking drained, you're almost a ghost of your usual self. Simple things make you want to cry. Well, that's not good. I'm sorry to hear that, Kez. I hope things pick up. Is there another one?
It was a pretty angel.
War, a terrible thing. Japanese kill every man in my city, except for Suchong. Suchong have opium. Very good opium. This war, terrible thing too, but not for Suchong. Everyone's scared now. Everyone needs Adam. More than little sisters can make. Good news is war makes lots of corpses. Suchong knows a way to recycle Adam from corpses, but can't send a little sister out to street unprotected.
This is where you find bodysuit.
Yes, I can see that.
Shame things turned out this way, kid. You and me could have run the table in this place. Now there's nothing left for you but a long, cold nothing.
Who said they've almost got enough rogue coin for nothing on the subject? There we go. The Big Daddy bodysuit gives you a 25% resistance to all damage. Something tells you that you'll need it. Find a Big Daddy bodysuit. I did.
Das ist gut. We will make disgusting Frankenstein out of you yet. There is
Yay!
helmet and pair of boots, and we will be, how you say, in business.
Look around you. There's nothing to save. Rapture's a mausoleum, a goddamn cemetery funhouse. And you and the crowd, it's just ghosts. Just a matter of time till you realize it.
Stop dialoguing me! Oh my god. We're playing Fallen Order on hardest difficulty. Nice. I love Fallen Order. I'd say it's pretty close to Soulsborne at the highest difficulty. It's pretty close. It's not perfect by any stretch, but it's pretty close, honestly. It's good shit. Oh, fuck, hello. Oh, okay. Finished him. I didn't mean for that to happen, but alright. Hell.
Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. Give me stuff. I have not yet played God of War. I have to give that one a crack. The newest one, I'm assuming you mean. I've played bits and pieces of the old ones, but I've never actually gotten through any of them. But I've heard many good things about the PS4 God of War, so I might give that a go at some stage. Which, if I'm not mistaken, was either highly cheap or... don't blow up! Okay, she's fine. It was either really cheap recently or it was on PlayStation Plus recently. I can't recall which. Does this do anything? Take the Eve hypo. Give me more frag grenades. I'll take that, and we're sorted.
Fontaine's scary, son of a bitch. But Ryan, cheap son of a bitch. You can no reuse protector suit. Pagan man graft the skin and organs straight into suit. Otherwise, your suit not work.
Oh, what the fuck? Why am I dying?
Ryan can go suck an egg.
What do you get? Did I get it? Anyway, as I was saying, Fallen Order shows it's still a market for single-player games without microtransactions. Don't give them ideas, though. We already know they're working on a sequel, and I am worried that there may be. I'm worried that they may go the route of microtransactions because Electronic Arts. Newest God of War is only 12 buckaroos. I'll have to give that a crack. Yeah, I kind of get what you mean with the old sex mini games. It's kind of weird to add that in, but that was a different time. It's weird to think that was a different time in video games. Like if you go back just 15, 16 years, video games were laden with a whole lot of stuff that you probably see it nowadays still in some capacity, but significantly less so, I think. We've come to realize, that kind of stuff is a little bit of a yikes. But that's how these things kind of go, what we found acceptable in gaming just 15 years ago when I was a kid, and what kids would find acceptable now in gaming are two completely different concepts. And that speaks to honestly speaks to youth culture and youth transitions. Honestly, the way that we go from, say, childhood to adulthood and the things that we experience and learn and grow from. Oh, okay, I'm gonna get zapped, I guess. I certainly think that the games I played when I was a kid definitely for a while informed certain worldviews I had on a similar note. I think stuff like that, and it's hard to explain what I mean, but I think the media that I consumed as a kid definitely for a while informed my worldview in such a way that was rather harmful, actually. One Why the fuck is sex a yikes and violence is just fine? Because of religious conservatism. Think people should be worrying about in games is gambling? Yes, absolutely. Gambling should be pretty much the #1 thing that we should be primarily worried about in games at the moment. I don't care about like if you want to put sex and violence and drugs in your games, go ahead. Do it. I mean, there are tacky ways to do it, but I would rather have games that are laden with all of that kind of content than games that have systems where kids are actually stealing their parents' credit cards to pay for a random roll of the dice on a skin, you know? I would much rather, you know, my kids be exposed to Mortal Kombat's head ripping than Mortal Kombat's loot boxes. Which I don't think Mortal Kombat has loot boxes, but they have some kind of microtransaction system. You can buy skins in that game as far as I'm aware.
Big Daddy make a terrible stink. Very smelly. Maybe something can be done. But the little sisters seem to like...
Oh, interrupt me.
If I were you, kid, ain't nothing here for you but tears.
I've been dealing with tears my entire life, Fontaine. This is nothing, okay? I cry to put myself to sleep every night. That's grim, sorry.
Look at you. You look just the same as those. Oh, what things we have done. What things. Now the boots.
Hacker's Delight. I'm gonna replace Eve-Link with Hacker's Delight. Got sad real quick. I mean, that was the joke, honestly. Self-deprecation is funny. Oh, hello. Who among you wishes to be blowed the fuck up?
Find a better hiding place, monster. I can see you.
Hold the fuck up. No, bad, naughty. Damn it, I wasted those proximity mines. Yeah, I saw the... Oh, maybe I didn't. No, yeah, I did. I can't pick them up now. Great, awesome, sick. Anywho. Sex, violence, melody, and silence. Is that from something? Even fake gambling in RDR2 is probably more harmful than blasting a dude's head off. Yeah, because gambling is normalized in society. You know, we are entirely and unfortunately familiar with the idea of gambling. We just treat it like it's a throwaway thing. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of, oh, some of these are dead, some of these are alive. Oh, I have heard Bittersweet Symphony. Yes, I have, actually. I never paid attention to the lyrics, though. Yeah, gambling is entirely too normalized. It's entirely acceptable in much the same way that, like, alcoholism is. Where am I going? Zoomed out. Where am I going? Where do I have to go? Suit assembly floor. Fontaine is hidden in the Big Daddy training grounds. Okay, so I need like the last part and I don't know where it is. I'm lost. Which I suppose is kind of the great thing in a lot of ways about games like this. You know? This was kind of a welcome change from games at the time that were far more linear, if I recall correctly. A lot of corridor shooters around this time period when BioShock released. And there were a lot of people expressing explicit disdain for the idea of the corridor shooter. And then BioShock is one of those games that comes along and you've got a variety of open-ended levels where you've got to try to find your way and stumble around a bit. Gambling, I think, has the capacity to be a bigger issue than violence, in some ways. Oh, hello, there's another Big Daddy. Well, that's good, I suppose. At least because of how accessible it is. We do, to an extent, demonize gambling. But it's still one of those things that's treated as a fun pastime. We still look at violence as a bad thing. We still look at violence as, well, you know, there are a lot of people who enjoy the concept of it, but as a general social concept, violence is frowned upon, whereas gambling is seen as something fun, and you have the potential to gain something from it. Okay. Oh, no, he's shooting those at me. Come on, dipshit. Where is he? I hope that makes sense. This is on easy mode. I turned the difficulty down because it was pissing me off. Oh, that's open. I didn't realize that was open. I thought that was like a sealed window thing. That got him. Oh, fuck, that was one of his, not one of mine. Oh yeah, there are people who love mass shooters, absolutely.
I guess I'll see him when
What the
flu season comes around. Yeah, I'll give him a shot.
Hi. Bye. However, we do still as a society look at someone who is excessively violent and we say they are bad. You know, as a general rule. And we do, as a general rule, look at gambling as a bad thing too. But there are a lot of other people who are like, oh yeah, I wouldn't mind a game of blackjack or poker or whatever it is. They don't mind having a go on the pokies. Like, gambling is still seen as a very, very acceptable thing to do, even though we know it can destroy people's lives, absolutely ruin them. It's the same as playing the lottery, which itself is exactly gambling. And yeah, there are reprehensible groups of people who will defend the actions of people like Kyle Rittenhouse, who is entirely in the wrong and is absolutely a shooter who should be in prison. What's his situation at the moment? Is he in jail yet? I don't know what the deal is with Kyle Rittenhouse. He should be in prison. Keep in mind, I am a proponent of rehabilitative care, but fuck that kid. Throw him in jail. Fuck that kid. Chuck him in the bin. Useless. If you play a game and are inspired to recreate acts of violence like that in real life, you probably have some problems already. Indeed. I will agree on that. Out on bail a second time. Fucking Christ! He shouldn't be allowed to have bail. He murdered, was it 3 people or 2 people? None of those were acts of self-defense. That's bullshit. Why did he travel across state lines with an assault rifle to a protest? Does this mean trans people can turn invisible every other day? Yeah, it's passing. You know? Trans Day of Visibility is the day where we're just like, hey, we're going to be openly trans and not pass at all. No, it's a... you need to gather a pheromone samples. I know that. Hello. Can I shoot you? I'm going to use these. Yeah, fuck passing. Absolutely. Fuck passing culture. Fuck that notion that we need to look a certain way, act a certain way, which just feeds into stereotypical gender roles to begin with. Like, the whole idea of passing culture is stupid. The expectation that we have to fit a certain role. I mean, I specifically go out of my way to be as femme as I possibly can because that's what I like. It's what I enjoy about myself. Oh my god, fuck off. Gonna be lurking as you got so much to do. Sounds good, Azray. Thank you so kindly for hanging out tonight. And for all those subs, oh my goodness. Candidate conversion. This is not where we want to be. We want to be in... Where do we have to go? I don't know where to go. I'm wandering aimlessly. Oh, there we go. Yeah, celebrate being trans, because trans is awesome.
But the little sisters seem to like order. Now we have to find the recruits. You become Big Daddy, it's a one-way street. But Ryan says don't worry. Recruits will be no problem.
Oh, is there a key code?
He's a good guy.
Got a grenade launcher, some liquid nitrogen, I don't need that. Cool, I got stuff, awesome. Can I not get in there? Okay, so I can't go this way. Judge talked about how he didn't want to see a young man with such a bright future stuck in prison. Fuck that kid. He killed people. Fuck his future. That's my stance. Fuck their future. If they kill people, fuck their future. It's absolutely like they wouldn't say that to a black kid. I guarantee you. Wouldn't say that to a black kid. Hey. You're on my side. Stop that. Oops. I did not mean to shoot lightning out of my gun. Maybe in the future I will intend to shoot lightning out of my gun, but I did not intend to just then. The judge did stand down? Good. Good, 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 good. You cannot carry any more of this item. Well, that's a bit shit. Does that mean I dropped it? I think, yeah, I did. Where's my crossbow bolt, actually? Yeah, let's fiddle around with a crossbow for a bit. The crossbow's quite good. I don't know where to go. Candidate conversion. Security monitoring room. Yeah, you need to find gather of pheromone samples. I know. Oh, did that... What? How did that miss him?
You know, you should be thanking me. I brought you here. I showed you who you are. Nobody never told you nothing but lies till I come along.
Quick, someone something!
Fuck off. There were protests and stuff. Several people on Twitch were streaming outside the courthouse. Were they really? I didn't know that. I did know there were protests, though. And there were protests at the sentencing of Derek Chauvin as well. As well there should be. Like, the system, the racism in the system under which we live is being greatly exposed very recently. And that's good. We should be exposing this shit. Everybody should be aware of how bad things are. And entirely too many people are all too willing to overlook the problems that we have that are leading to certain people being specifically targeted. The fuck? Huh? Oh, it's a Houdini splicer. Where are you? Dude, why is the crossbow so insanely powerful? Fuck off.
I'm good looking. Can't they see that?
Hello. I think the constant protests for over a week, stopping the courthouse from functioning, demanding the judge step down. Step down. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. That got him. Nice. Easy mode.
To the top. To the car.
I've only got one more of these. I see. Oh, there we go.
I can only be glad I am nowhere near you and that awful stink. Why the little ones are drawn to the smell of those pheromones is beyond anything I can understand.
You got little drawings on the walls. It's a dead dog by the look of it. Lovely. Angel. It's little girl, little sisters. Drawing their big daddies. The Russian accent? Well, she's Russian. Hidey hole. That's terrifying. That's fucking oh my god. Seeing with this whole pandemic thing how selfish people are. Oh yeah, absolutely. This game is just kids be messed up in video game form. Can I... Did that fix it? No? Didn't fix it? Okay. What about this one? Another angel. All good girls gather.
Pardon? I'm not a bad person!
Fuck off. We already opened that one. Did we open this one? Yep, we did open this one. Oh, hello. There you are. Where'd you go? Come back, you little shit. Fuckers. God damn it. Have an article if you want to read it later about Amazon and fake Twitter profiles. We read that. We looked into that yesterday. It's hilarious. As of today, it seems like Twitter has banned all of the accounts. Still not sure if it was like someone having a laugh or if it was actually Amazon. It's fucking... Oh my god, it was such a bizarre situation. Oh shit. Can I... Oh, fuck off. God damn it. God damn it. I do not want to deal with your robots. Where's the bot disabling panel? There's got to be one somewhere. Come on, dude. No. Only recently heard about it. It only happened yesterday, so like it was very, very recent news. Honestly, I'm kind of glad we found out about it at the time we did. Where is the bot thing? There we go.
Good. Now you'll need to modify your voice and find a pair of boots for yourself.
Why do you need to modify your voice?
What's the matter, Mary? You look like you could use a boost.
I don't feel so great.
There we go. So, dating an Asian trans woman, she's terrified like this dude in a fucking lift truck. Machine you hacked just damaged his friendly. Well, not anymore, he's not. Yelling shit about bringing a plague and you all deserve to die. I had a similar experience, not about being trans, but about somebody walked past me at the shopping center a little while back now. When lockdowns were still sort of semi-going on, like we were just sort of recently having lockdowns ease off a bit. And I was just walking along through the shops. And an Asian woman was walking off towards the bathrooms, you know, minding her own business, not really doing anything. And she might have like covered her hand and coughed very lightly or something like that. And some other dude walks past me, gets far closer than social distancing rules would allow, which made me incredibly uncomfortable. And he said, an Asian woman coughing, that's something you should be careful about, or something along those lines. And I'm like, dude, you're literally within centimeters of my face right now. Fuck off. Like, I really wanted to just say that to him. Instead, I was just taken aback and distanced myself as fast as I could. But still, like, honestly, the flagrant racism and... Yeah, honestly, it comes back to that selfishness. It's like, you know, that whole self-preservation rather than, you know, thinking that's a person. Let's dehumanize that person over there sort of deal. Where's the voice modifying thing? I remember seeing it. Yeah, it was fucking disgusting. I did not want to interact with that man in any capacity, and he forced his way into my personal space to be a racist under the assumption that I would be just as racist as he was. That's how messed up that whole scenario is these people like him, and he was, you know, middle-aged white dude, just assume if you are a white person, you're just as bad as they are. Well, they don't see it as a bad thing, is the worst part of this. You know? It's like, no, I don't share your views on people. I don't share your racism. Leave me the fuck alone. And stop harassing people for their race or if they're trans or anything like that. Sammy, hello, friend.
Welcome, friends.
Thank you so kindly for that raid. How was your stream tonight? What did you get up to? Better than drive-by threats. Ever see a lifted truck with an American flag? Oh, yeah, I know. I've seen, like, Aussie trucks that have got patriotic bumper stickers and things like that. there are a lot of big vehicles, big four-wheel drives and stuff like that, where they'll have like an Australian flag and stickers that say, if you don't love it, leave, and all this kind of shit. It's very common here in Australia too. Like nationalism, patriotism is nationalism, yeah. Still need to finish that song. It's only, well, that's all we need, Sammy. We only need you. Oh, I'm out of ammo, okay. Haha. Get got. Got him. Copping an assault charge if someone pulled that shit in my personal space. I was very tempted. But I was a very newly out trans girl, and I was not, you know, passing very well. Not that I do now, but... What are we playing after this? We got to put it to a poll. Once I'm done, we got to put it to a poll on what I'm going to play after this. You know, completely overcompensating and filled with hate because they fear something in themselves. It's not that they fear something in themselves, other than perhaps inadequacy. They fear... Like, the idea is that they actually fear the notion of being overtaken, overrun, outbred, and all this kind of stuff. They come up with as many justifications as they possibly can for their hatred and bigotry. Because they fear some absurd notion of being bred out of existence. Which is, and there's more to it than that. There's so much more to it than that. A lot of these people are just outright supremacists. That's it at the end of the day. Spec Ops The Line? Maybe. Certainly not 6 Days in Fallujah. Fuck no. Get got. Yakuza might be an idea. I don't own any of those games though. Here's the thing, like Fallout New Vegas was one I was considering. Where is the thing for the voice changer? I've forgotten where it was. Find the voice box modification thingy in live machine testing.
Asks you a simple question. Are you a man or a slave?
Where are we? Oh, we're in the library, I think. We find the library. Oh my god. Fuck off. Jesus Christ, dude. No, the bots thing is just too much. I fucking hate the security droids thing. That's bad. That's bad design. I hate it. Because you just get chased all over the level by these fucking assholes. And it's not a compelling gameplay loop mechanic. I don't like that at all. That's fucking shit, dude. Let's run away. Yeah, we're not doing Raid Shadow Legends. I actually watched a video today and it, you know, there was a Raid Shadow Legends plug in it. I was like, dude, really? I can't believe I actually played it for a meme on stream. That was so ridiculous. You have enough components to invent things. Cool, I can invent things. Not a man, so I guess I'm a slave. Well, true.
I'll admit Fontaine showed some foresight when he built up the plasmid business, but the man really never understood sales. Hiding those little girls beneath a bushel. I've just seen the preliminary design work on the new plasmid machines, and they're exactly what I wanted. Mark my words, presented properly, those little sisters are marketing gold.
That sounds fucking creepy. Oh god. The Little Sisters thing has always been very intensely creepy though, so unshocking there. Oh, grenades. I'll take grenades. Alright, so I think in this area, because we were close to finding them, we found the library and we found where we were supposed to go. Test subject storage.
The parasite hates three things. Free markets, free will, and free men.
Come on, burn to death. Did that kill him? I think that... Why am I getting a chat? Oh my god. Are you serious? Go away. No, I don't want to do this. I'm not doing this bit. I'm not doing this bit. No, I'm not doing the robots. I'm not doing the robots. You can fuck off. Not doing it. I'm not fighting them. Not fighting. Nope, fuck off. Nope, not happening. Go away. Nope, we're not doing that. Nope, leave me alone. I don't even know where you came from. I don't know why you've started attacking me yet again. Leave me alone. Nope, not doing it. No, we're not doing it. Leave me alone. Just entirely no. Not interested. Leave me be. Not fighting you because it's just frustrating. I didn't realize that people having less children is a sign of good social standing and education. Means you're thinking more about the big decision that is having a child true. Because having children by accident is quite frank, like having just popping out kids. Just having a bunch of kids is a symptom of a system that does not educate people enough about the responsibilities of having children and taking care of children. Oh, hello. You're angry at me for some reason. I don't know what I did to you, but alright, I'll take it. And that's entirely by systemic design, you know, keep the people dumb so that they don't end up having too many kids, so they can't focus on their careers and actually contribute to society in a more meaningful way. Instead, they churn out a bunch of kids to feed into the capitalistic nightmare in which we live. I'll take that, and I'll take that. Matt Gates trending on Twitter for sex trafficking. Who is Matt Gates? I know the name, I don't know who he is.
Toxic, septic, unsanitary. Meet someone.
Can you just, like, die?
Place is poison.
Let's get exploded. Like, there we go. I'm trying to find where I need to go, and I keep getting distracted and turned around because of the fucking enemies. He's a Republican skank. Okay, well that explains it. It makes sense that Republicans would be involved in sex trafficking, yeah. And then you've got that bloke, I forgot what his name was, who immediately jumped to the defense, I think, of Matt Gates. Who's like, 17? It's not even that young. It's like, wait, seriously? You're gonna go down that route? You're gonna go that road? I forget what the guy's name was. I don't know what these do. Do I turn them off? Does this go somewhere? Oh, there we go. So if I turn that, where does that go then? Alright, well what if I go in here? If the fire's off, where's the fire go? Fire hot. We don't like fire hot. It goes nowhere. I thought this would lead to something, like there might be a secret or something. No, it's just literally a dead end. Mate, the fuck? Okay, can I look around and find the voice changer, which we found before, by the way? Oh my god. Yet again. No. Oh my god. Go away. I literally don't want to fight anymore. I just want to find the thing that I need. Leave me alone. Good lord. Everyone who wasn't a doctor begged you to save some of your baby fat before you got your orgy. Oh yeah, no, I've had people tell me that exact same thing. And it's also so invasive to say to somebody, what if you want kids one day? Aren't you going to say... And I've already got children. Which is even worse, honestly. Like the fact that I, as someone who already has kids, have had people say to me, oh, are you going to save some of that stuff before you get any surgeries just in case you want more kids one day? It's like, no, I have 2 of them. No.
Don't
no.
run away from
like,
me.
I don't need to contribute more to the population problems. Not that there is really a population problem, but it's like one of the main issues that I deal with on a constant basis is the fear that I can't adequately take care of my kids because I don't have enough income or things of that nature, you know? And it's like, why would I want to bring more kids into the world that I'm worried I can't adequately take care of? You know, I'm still struggling right now to try and make everything work for me. And slowly but surely we're getting there. Oh, okay, hang on. Safecracker 2, where's this go? You can go there. I'm getting a ghost. What's the ghost? Where's the ghost? No, nothing? Okay.
Please, Papa Sucho, I don't want to go on the
Hangnail. Sorry. Can't be too tight unless you're 1, married, or 2, have 2 kids or more, and 3 over 30. Yeah, I actually, before coming out, before all of that, I actually spoke to a doctor about having vasectomy. And he gave me the whole spiel of like, we usually don't do it unless you're over a certain age. I'm like, my thought process is why? You know, like, why is that? You know, you think about this. It strips away a person's medical agency regarding themselves. If you have to have passed a certain threshold of something before you can have access to these things. Which is kind of ridiculous. I'm running out of grenades. Where are you, Big Daddy? Big Daddy-O. Come on, Daddy-O. There we go, got him. Got him. The audio is fucking up hard on this game, dude. I've got to find this bloody thing. If you're gonna have kids, is what like I'm gonna have kids is what I want, but some people do not, and that's okay. Women don't owe you children. Exactly. Women do not owe you children, not by any stretch of the imagination. And it's ridiculous that society expects women to have children just because they have the capacity to do so. Or rather, give me money, give me stuff. Rather, people that can have children are just expected to have children. Which I know, you know, phrasing it like that is going to piss off the Australian Parliament, but they're going to have to get over it. Alright, let's have a look. Let's find this library. Where's this library?
Every day there's less and less. You know, the problem's not in your hair. It's in your jeans. Hey, I don't run it.
Oh my god. Fuck right off, please. Oh, I don't have... Damage research. Hit him where it hurts. Blah, I don't care about that. I got boots!
Look at you. We will make Big Daddy out of you yet, I think. There is only one piece missing. The voice box modification machine in optimized eugenics.
So it was in optimized eugenics, okay. We gotta go back to the eugenics labs, folks. Everybody's favorite. We don't need that. We are now a complete and total whole ass Big Daddy, except for one minor bit.
Where you gonna go? Your life? Your family? They're a fairy tale, kid. No more real than something you read about in the Saturday Evening Post. Poor bastard. A motherless freak. Whipped up in a half-baked science
Make a
experiment.
Big Daddy out of you.
Has Mother Goose really got her hooks into you? You can knock Ryan all you want, but the old man was bingo on one point of fact. You won't even walk till somebody says go.
Don't be a friend of Atlas.
Is this the thing? This looks like... No, that's a weapon upgrade system. I guess I'll take that. Where's the crossbow damage? There we go. We don't need a crossbow damage increase. Why'd I do that? The crossbow does like 100% damage like every time. You're exhausted and only want to pop in and say hi. I appreciate you being here, Kaz. Like always, we'll kill plenty of splices. We are going to rip apart the fabric of society, as we always do every single day. Just being transgender does that to people, apparently. Oops, missed him. Ah! Killed him with a knee shot. Amazing. If you want a kid, no one that needs a good home, and no worries, there are plenty in need of help. How about we don't act like shitbag twats and care for kids that are already born? Yeah, exactly. Am I gonna rip and tear? Well, as much as I can in BioShock. As much as I can. I do my best. No, I don't want the trap bolts. I want the incendiary bolts. Backup generator. Oh, God, no, we don't want to go in there. Test subject. Storage. No. I'm slowly figuring out my way around this place. Main hall. No, that's quarantine. We don't want to go in there. We don't need to go in the security monitoring room. Hello, John. How you doing? Oh, hello. Get lost. Plasmid prototyping. We just came from here. Where's the voice box modification? I saw it. I remember seeing it. Where are you? There's this. Alarm expert.
Yes. Now this is a big daddy. Are you ready? Now go to the little sister vent by the proving grounds.
Okie doke.
I've got Rapture now. I've got the Atom now. You think that pill suit's even half enough to put the scare in me?
Yes. Whip and tear woo woo. They also had no problem stripping away your agency when you were a child, and they performed surgery on you because you're intersex. Oh my gosh. Yep. And that's exactly it, isn't it? It's all a bunch of hypocrisy at the end of the day. It's all a bunch of we say, you do. You're not allowed to have any agency of your own unless we say so.
And then they'll let you in the door. Go on, hit the vent with your wrench.
Where's my wrench? What vent? Which vent? What am I hitting? Oh, this. Hello.
Und bitte. It would mean very much to me if you will be gentle with the girls. Mein kleines Mädchen.
Anyway. I only went troppo at the very end. What do you mean? Excusez-moi. Saving content. Full ranty and shit. Oh. He's already gone full Randy in.
The little ones will lead you to Fontaine.
Hurry, Mr.
But you must protect them.
Angels are waiting for our kisses.
Oh, I don't need that.
That's it, kids. It's been a long road. You don't even remember most of it. Put you on a sub when you were just a sprout.
Do I have to get another one? You already summoned a little sister.
Hurry, Mr. Bubbles.
I'm Mr. Bubbles now. The name Larkin reminds me of something else entirely. Where'd you go? There you are.
Hurry, Mr. B. I can see the angel dancing in the sky.
Why is this Big Daddy trashing everything? Come on. Oh, the dropping the facade happened last stream.
Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B.
Plenty of kids that need homes and shelters that are already born. Yeah, absolutely.
Slowpoke.
There is an entire system that is designed around keeping homeless kids a thing.
I really wound you up with that wife and child bit. Oh,
Hurry, Mr. B.
Moira,
I can see the
wee baby Patrick. Maybe one day I'll get me a real family. They play well with the suckers.
Hey. Not even one thing, you got nothing. I hope you enjoy having nothing. Absolutely nothing. Azrae, there you go.
Don't run!
Oh, where is he?
We're just getting started!
Where are you, douchebag? Come out and play.
Hop, Mr. B. Don't wait.
You're not even phased by this shit. I'm mowing down civilians who have gone mad and you're just wandering along.
Hurry, Mr. B.
Casually.
Angels are waiting for
Okay, shut up, little sister. Oh my god. The escort mission shit is getting old already. Test subject number 1. Nice. He's a looker.
This one's right, Mr. B.
Even though they are physically
Oh.
together, Su Chung's mental conditioning still holds them to their terrible task. For sins such as this, they can never atone.
Time to go, Mr. B.
Are you done? Oh my god. The gun handling in this is absolute dog shit, dude.
Mr. B. Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B.
Oh no, angels, attack and destroy them.
Slowpokes.
Where are you? Hey! Leave the baby alone.
I'm girl, Mr. B. Hurry, Mr. B.
Oh, so I gotta keep going until she's done. I thought she was done. She said, let's go.
Be quiet!
I see. Mr. B. No time to waste.
Are you quite done yet?
What? Little thing. It was a pretty angel. Hurry, Mr. B. Waiting for a kiss.
Are we done? Are you done? Can we move? Thank you.
Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B.
I'm not the one being a slowpoke. You are, you hypocrite.
Hurry, Mr. B. I can see the angel.
You are now one of us.
Oh my goodness. Badger. Gifting 5 tier 1s. Oh my goodness gracious me. To Raw, Aubergine, Rebecca, Exploited, and Yelville. For that you get 1 free hydration.
Welcome back, supporter of the cause.
I guess. I need to, like... I don't know. I need to figure out something for subs. Because our sub lounge is just not cutting it anymore, folks.
You are now one of us.
Also a flipped off request. And another hydrate. I've missed who the flip off was. Happy Trans Day, everybody.
You are now one
Come
of
into
us.
the lounge. Into the Come Lounge. Thank you for all those subs. Happy Trans Day of Visibility, folks. Because as you can see, because I am on your screen, I am visible. See?
You are now one of us.
That's how that works. It's about being visible. We haven't really talked a whole lot about Trans Day of Visibility. The Come Lounge. Ew. Also, I realized something, not related to anything, but that portal gun that I've got hiding back there on the shelf, I can get some batteries for that and turn it on, and we could have like another light on my shelving there. If I wanted to do that, I could do that, most certainly. If I was feeling particularly not lazy one day. Stunningly gorgeous, thank you.
Watch out! The sand in their harvesting will draw the attention of the splicers.
Yeah, we know the harvesting will draw the attention of the splicers. I am entirely aware of this. Another round. Oh my goodness, Azra, thank you for the 250 and the 250.
Don't you want to take a look, Mr. B?
500 bits. Thank you so kindly. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay.
Another round. On
What?
me.
Another round. Oh my goodness. Another 250 bits. Oh my gosh. You're too kind. You are too kind. I don't deserve it. You're off to bed. Have a good one, Badger. Have a good rest. Hope work tomorrow is good. Hope work is nice and chill for you. Am I Queen Bean, am I? I hope so. I would hope so. Huh? Oh my god, the audio in this game is terrible. Like, the audio, the sound effects are fine. But there are a lot of sound problems with this game. A lot of sound glitching and stuff like that.
Hurry, Mr. B.
Another round.
Ah, another one! Oh my god, a hype train now. We've got a hype train now. This is not good.
It was a pretty.
Oh my god, are you serious? Come on.
Don't be a slowpoke, Mr. B.
Get blowed up.
Angels don't wait for slowpokes.
I keep thinking there's another Big Daddy around, but it's me. I am the Big Daddy. Queen Bean Rena, thank you so kindly.
Hop, hop, Mr. B.
truly have made your morning. Thank you, Azray. Hype train. So I think they're actually experimenting with a feature. For,
You are now one of us.
Hurry, Mr. B.
Oh my god, I'm like barely paying attention and we have a hype train. You morons. Thank you so kindly for being so nice to me. And another 750 bits.
You are
oh my
now
goodness.
one of us.
Where are we? Level...
Time to go, Mr. B.
What is the, Let me just come back to this. Oh my goodness. We got
You
a
are now one of us.
53%. Thank you, Draco, for the 5 subs to Bun Bun, Halcyon, Avocado, Trash Queen, and Moofy. And then 750 more bits. Is it because of the sweater? It's because of the sweater,
You are
isn't it?
now one of us.
It's the sweater, which is style and fashion. And 21 bits. Thank you, Arena, so kindly. Oh my god.
You are now one of us.
Also, here's an interesting thing, a little fun note that Twitch is apparently experimenting with regards to hype trains. I'm going to take this off for a second. Twitch is apparently experimenting with a concept whereby
Another round on you.
it'll tell you how much is required to reach the next level of a hype train. Is an interesting concept. So there's a thing.
Another
What
round
might be going on
you.
in the future. It do be a cute sweater. I love it. I'm going to live in it now. I don't care what the weather is like. I'm going to live in this thing. I don't know if I'll be able to get my scarf back on my head. I hate wearing this thing because it's cute as fuck, but it's impossible to get it on. Like if I put it on like this, I'm going to have to fix it up. And then hair dyed red when I might do it actually. I've been looking at getting my my hair did. My hair did. I've been looking at it, and at least one place I've gone to and asked them about getting an ombre done, which is very, very expensive. By which I mean $400 fucking expensive. I don't have that kind of money, thank you. But I wanted to get it neatened up and colored, and they said it would be about $400, and I'm like, are you fucking serious? And I was like, oh, I'll think about that and come back. No, I won't. Because I wanted to get like the color I have now faded into a purple. Which is, yeah, 400 is like an endocrinologist appointment. It's like, yeah, I would prefer my hormones over getting my my hair done. Thank you very much. 400 is a face-to-face endo appointment. Phone endo appointments are like 200, so it's not too bad. Because most of mine have been phone appointments.
Ready for dream time, Mr. B.
How are you now?
Hurry, Mr. Bubbles.
Is that guy angry at me?
A rapture reminder. We all have bills to pay, but a temptation to break curfew to make a little extra added intricate.
Yeah, no time to waste. Stop walking in the way of things.
Stay on the level.
Most money I ever spent on hair was like 250. Most I've ever spent on hair was like 30. I have not had my hair done at all since I came out. Since long before that, actually. It's been like over a year, maybe even a year and a half since I've even had a haircut in the first place.
Hurry, Mr. B. Dancing in the sky.
She's gonna die. Don't die. Give an ombre for 150. You need to pick up the stuff. It's gonna be like $8 for that. Yeah, like I understand there's gonna be a cost involved for like buying all the necessary stuff for it, but like $400.
Time to go, Mr. B.
Well, don't walk it. You're gonna walk in it. Oh, she doesn't care.
Waiting for it.
She's fine.
I don't want. Sometimes.
She's like not affected by it at all. Hey, look, it Atlas.
Hurry, hurry, Mr.
Are we safe? What are we doing? I can't see what I'm doing. What are we doing?
For slow folks.
Where are you? I've lost you now. There you are. Okay. We done? To get it literally is slightly under 80, so you're charging around $15 an hour. That makes sense. Where are you? What are you doing? What am I? Oh, there you are. Come back to you, bitch. What am I hearing? Is there a... Oh, she's dead. She's so dead. Dude, she's so dead. Oh my goodness. Hype train success! Poggers. Get some poggers in chat for that hype train. Thank you so much, folks. You're all so bloody lovely. I don't know how to respond to hype trains. I'm not like a hype streamer. You know, I'm one of those people who doesn't do a whole ton of hype trains or stuff. How do I heal you? Because you're nearly dead.
You must protect the little ones.
Oh.
Not longer infused with Adam. They are as vulnerable as any child. If the little one falls, you can call for another at the vent. But to lose
Well, the
even
kid's
one
dead
is
now.
a sin.
In case anybody wanted to notice, I let a kid die. I let the child die, so... We now have to find a new child. I heard of Guy Tang. I have not. I mean, I have now, because you mentioned him. You'll be donating like 35... you haven't had your hair cut in 5 years, and it won't until after your wedding. You'll be donating 30.5 centimeters of hair and still have it shoulder length. That sounds awesome. Come on, little sister, so I can... So, you know, you can die as well. Come on.
Keep an eye opening for the splicers.
We hit the jackpot.
I hate the combat in this. It's not weighty enough, so I feel like I'm completely useless against these enemies.
It was pretty.
Like, I'm shooting these dudes with a shotgun at point blank range, and you're telling me it's not killing them in one hit. Please kindly fuck right off. Bang, go away.
Girl, Mr. B.
There you go, walk into that, you wankers. Oh, hello. Got him! He got thrown in the air, holy shit. Okay, why was he after me?
Better for the girls to be with you. Better with you than alone. Alone in the crawling darkness. Only the little ones can open these doors. You must protect them.
Yeah, I came to that conclusion myself, given they got a little opening.
That might be plenty for the working scrubs and the pencil pushers, but I need more. More! I want a splice! Alright, the splice with!
Oh, this looks like it might be boss fight time.
Fontaine is nearby. You are reaching close.
Okay, it's about to get intense, I can tell. Escort the little sister. Well, I mean, I didn't really complete it. I lost one of them.
You must use the needle of the little sister to drain Fontaine of his Adam. It is the only way to defeat him.
Oh, I gotta take the thing.
Fontaine waits above. There will be no going back from here. Make sure you are ready to face him before moving on.
Yep, I'm playing on easy mode. We can do this. It's fine. His hair show is so fun. You love flamboyant men. Flamboyant men are fantastic. What do we think about Brad Mondo? Again, another person I don't know.
I see you broadcast
Harry.
Friend.
Harry Murr Games. Welcome. How you doing, folks? How'd your stream go?
You were my ace in the hole.
You're all bringing up people I've never heard of.
Also the closest thing I ever had to a son. And that's why this hurts. Betrayal, kid. Life ain't strictly business.
Oh, why is it saving that? Okay. It's saving that automatically. Okay. Listen to Dorian. Okay, I'm gonna have to give that a look. Merms are incoming with sparkles all around. How did your stream go? What'd you get up to tonight? Final Fantasy, is that 6 or 4? I've forgotten. I forgot Roman numerals. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. How are you? I hope you're well. 67. Final Fantasy 67. Final Fantasy 6. How was it? How was it? Speaking of, I actually, speaking of Final Fantasy, I jumped on PlayStation Plus, fortunately, before the end of the month. You might still be able to do it if you haven't already done it. If you're on PlayStation Plus, you can go and grab yourself Final Fantasy VII for free, provided you have PlayStation Plus. As soon as you turn off your PlayStation Plus subscription, you'll lose it. But, you know, you loved Final Fantasy 69. I mean, don't joke about it. If they keep going with that series, they'll get there. Trust me, there'll be a Final Fantasy 69. They'll get to it. Give them time, okay? And eventually they're going to start selling box sets of the different Final Fantasy games like they sell box sets of the James Bond movies. You can buy, like, the Sean Connery era and stuff. Game Pass has the FFs as well? Does it have the Final Fantasy VII Remake, though, which is a PS4 exclusive? Political trans music artist. Well, I mean, all music is technically political in some way, shape, or form. Art is political by its very definition. It depends on how overt a person is about their art, I suppose. 69 won't be for another 50 years at least. We'll get there. Give them time. Kind of already did that with Kingdom Hearts. It'll be immersive VR by then. One could hope. I feel like it's entirely too hopeful, though. I'm very nihilistic and very not very hopeful about the future. Anyway. Final Fantasy breakfast cereal. That'd be good. Well, always a treat. Well, that's good to hear. It's good to hear. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Shall we beat Fontaine into a bloody pulp, do you think? Oh, okay, that's what he looks like. Fontaine's Adam, alright. Drain Adam.
Go! Now, hit it with the needle!
It's fighting time. Oh, hello. Where's he going? Is he going to recharge? So I gotta go back up here. Atlas is vulnerable in his deck. Okay, so I gotta drain him 4 times.
I got more than enough mugs to watch my back.
Oh my god, like the audio dipping and like, why does it do this? Where is he? Oh, he's back there again.
Good money for you.
Why does it keep doing it? I'm gonna whoop his ass. Yeah, exactly. Would you kindly die, Fontaine? Got him. Oh my god, it's so annoying. I can't understand what he's saying. Because there's so many audio things going on at once.
I traded you, oh Lord.
Not that. Not that. Go away, person who I don't care about. Oh, okay. The game's just gonna freeze for a second. Where is he? I got no more ammunition. Where is he? He's gone back? He's gone back, okay.
I'm barely getting started.
But that can't be the last one, really? We only did it 3 times. There were 4 vials.
I had you built. I sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and had tattooed inside your head. Now, if you don't call that family, I don't know what is. And now,
Yes, stab him with the needles. Good little sisters. Aren't they great?
They offered you this city.
They look significantly less horrifying now than they
And
did
you
in the game.
refused it. And what did you do instead? What I've come to expect of you. You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them.
They're still quite a bit creepy.
A chance. A chance to learn. To find love. To live. And in the end, what was your reward?
Death.
You never said. But I think I know. A family.
Well, there was no credits. It just ended. It just ended. It didn't go to credits. It just ended. That was it. The story's done. Alright, bye then. It was anticlimactic. Kinda was. It just sort of finished. It was like, okay, we're done. Like I was expecting the credits to roll. Do we want it? I don't want to roll the credits. I usually skip credits anyway. I usually skip the credits anyway. You beat the game now. Fuck off. Oh, okay. Like, sure, whatevs. We did that. We did it. We did do that. Okay. Now what? I did not plan for further content beyond, like, say, the end of the game. I wasn't expecting that to be so, yeah, anticlimactic, like was said before. And now I just sort of like... let's go back to my usual category, I suppose. I haven't planned any news or anything. Candy Crush. Let's do Candy Crush. Anyone ever done a Candy Crush stream? Has anyone ever decided what do more look like? Whatever that meme was. Talk trans issues. Well, I suppose we should. I suppose we should. Should we not? Yes, we do. Well, yes, we should indeed. Where do we begin? Because it is Trans Day of Visibility after all, and I mean, now's as good a chance as any. International Transgender Day of Visibility, March 31st. Which honestly, I'm gonna just throw this out there. This is not a bad thing. It's not bad that it's on March 31st, but it comes right before April 1st. And you know what April 1st is. And you know some people are gonna do the thing that you shouldn't do on April Fool's Day, which is do a fake coming out, April Fool's coming out. Some people do use that as a way to test the waters with their family and friends though, quite honestly. But, you know, that's kind of a thing that's a little bit worrying. Gotta get to heading out. Sounds good, Rena. Thank you so kindly for hanging out tonight. You're gonna come out as Super Ace. What does that even mean in like the grander context of like, say, the Super Straight thing, for example? Hang on, let me change my title really quickly. Where is it? Oh, I can't set. I just accidentally spelled of as OV. And this is a weird thing. I can't set the title to... I can't have the word trans twice too close in the title. Here we go. Let's actually... No, we'll leave it as tdov. Because some people tag their streams as tdov. Some people say Trans Day of Visibility. Anyway. Billy. There you go. Only attracted to people that were assigned no one at birth. Assigned imperceptible at birth. Now you're thinking about superfluids. What are superfluids? I want to know what superfluids are. Anyway, I am in Australia. So at present, hang on. Let's look up trans rights in Australia. Transgender rights in Australia. So, as far as I know, things are pretty decent here. Things are pretty okay here in Australia for trans people for the minute. Keep in mind there was that thing that we mentioned about in Parliament. Let me see if I can find it. There was a thing recently about gender non-conforming language. Federal Senate passes motion out in Perth. This was something that came up recently, which is not a huge deal, but it's a very, very small step in a very bad direction. Yeah, trans day visibility implies we're invisible the rest of the day, and do I ever want that to be true? Yeah, our Senate recently moved to make non-binary language. The federal Senate passed a motion to oppose gender-neutral language. We did already discuss this. But we don't, like, I mean, you could say this is definitely conservatives attacking trans rights in Australia. They're testing the waters by moving to make a motion that notes that our fundamental biology, Senator Roberts to move that the Senate notes that our fundamental biology and relationships are represented through the following descriptors, which are all gendered terms, which they are then tying to biology, right? Broad-scale genuine inclusion cannot be achieved through distortions of biological and relational descriptors. Individuals' right to choose their descriptors and pronouns for personal use must not dehumanize the human race and undermine gender. So, in that regard, if there is a transgender person in Senate, if that person is a transgender woman, for example, they're going to refer to that transgender woman by he, him, or a transgender man by she, her, that kind of shit. They're just going to completely dismiss it, in favor of this motion which passed. The game was good, but the ending was it just kind of happened. We just got an outro cutscene, and the game ended. Anyway. The bullshit of fundamental language implying that non-binary identities dehumanize. Like, what is dehumanizing about a person like myself preferring she and her pronouns? If I were, and I'm not going to be a senator, mind you, I have no interest in it. I have no interest in being in a parliamentary situation. Fuck that shit. But if I were in a parliamentary situation and I was being referred to by the wrong pronouns, how is that not dehumanizing me? How is my preference towards the pronouns that are right for my gender dehumanizing anyone else? Dehumanizing the human race. Look at this language here. Must not dehumanize the human race and undermine gender. Gender, which is a social role, by the way. Gender, which is and has always been a social role. There's nothing biological about gender, because the idea of there being some kind of a sex binary is already a flawed understanding of biology. If we come back to this concept here, our fundamental biology completely disregards the notion of intersex people entirely, just dismisses intersex people as not existing. Anyone who falls in the sex is a spectrum on its own. Gender is a spectrum. And sexuality is a spectrum. These things are not locked into one or the other. It's not an on-off switch. You're not male-female. Dr. Lyons from Logan, Queensland reports this is the thing that gets me the most, this is so ridiculous. Dr. Lyons from Logan, Queensland reports incidences of young children feeling stressed and panicked about whether it is okay to use the words boy and girl, which is just that moral panic kind of bullshit. They might have maybe one incident of this happening, and then they'll extrapolate that to mean... And it might even just be the case where a child has said, oh, well, there's a kid at my school, and I'm not sure if they're a boy or a girl, so I'm not sure what to call them. And in that circumstance, that's just the parent's responsibility to be like, well, let's find out. Let's ask the child. And whatever the child tells you, if they might be a binary trans child who's like, oh, I'm a girl... or I'm a boy, then they just use the terminology of a boy or a girl. Or if they're a non-binary kid, which honestly is probably not something most kids are going to know about anyway at that age, because they don't really discuss the ideas of the gender spectrum or the sex spectrum to primary schoolers, which is what they're talking about here. Young children, they're talking about primary schoolers who are not learning the intricacies of gender and sex at their age. So I highly doubt, incredible amounts of doubt, that Dr. Lyons from Logan, Queensland's reporting incidences of young children feeling stressed and panicked about whether it is okay to use the words boy and girl. Highly doubt it, mate. Load of bullshit. Pushing gender-neutral language is no replacement for appropriate emotional and I keep going to read this as psychological support for children while growing up. It's ridiculous. Kids do not need psychological support for understanding the gender spectrum. They do not. Kids are not going to be traumatized by learning about gender. Kids are not going to be traumatized by learning that they-them pronouns are a thing. They learn that shit in primary school. They know what they-them pronouns are. They know what pronouns are. They're aware of it. They learn that shit early. It's not a crazy concept, and it's not going to cause them psychological harm that will require them to go to therapy, for example. Anyway, so where do they draw the line when something is or isn't dehumanizing? Too vague allows for interpretations to be wielded against the community. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what they want. They want to be able to take every single opportunity they can to weaponize this kind of stuff against us. And make it our fault. A narrow definition of biology and relationship descriptors is dangerous. We want specific definitions in law, but not narrow definitions. Yes, precisely. To protect people, you need to have those specific definitions in law. Whenever you hear someone mention Australian politics, they usually make fun of it, say the political representatives are clowny. Yeah, pretty much. Our representatives are absolutely a circus. Australian politics is a circus like crazy. And, you know, there's been a lot of shit coming out recently. There's been a lot of issues recently in the Australian Parliament, specifically regarding sexual harassment, which is really fucking bad. Kids will be traumatized if their parents keep reinforcing bad ideas that don't match reality, which is exactly what this is. It's exactly what this kind of thing is, which this is largely with regards to, if I'm not mistaken, passes a motion opposing gender-neutral language in the Senate. If I'm not mistaken. Motion called for departments within the government and government funding agencies to stop using these words. To stop using, you know, different descriptors and all this kind of stuff. To completely dismiss, like, transgender people in general. Let me think. But I don't think this is a motion for, like, the entire country, fortunately. But this is a step in that direction. This is a step in that let's stop giving these people... Like, a lot of the arguments that these particular kinds of people are using are this idea that the transes, with their trans agenda, are going to try and... overtake our language and overtake the social language and start to criminalize people for saying the wrong thing. It's like, no, we just want you to stop harassing us by dead naming and misgendering us. That would be nice. You know, at the end of the day, that's all we're asking for is a bit of common decency, but they're acting like transgender people who have literally zero power in, like, anywhere. We're a minority that has no power. We have none. We got nothing. We got shit. How are we going to criminalize the language that you want to use to dehumanize us? Right? We got nothing. We got next to nothing. And these people are losing their minds over this. They're going and passing legislation against this. Just full of awful people who believe in things like the archaic White Australia policy. Yeah. Grab a bucket and a mop for this White Australia policy. It was in response to a university and somewhere else using terms like chest feeding and non-gestational parent. They're going to use this to push it towards everyone. Yeah, they are. And the worst thing is, like, coming back to the White Australia policy, this came from one nation. One nation who are quite literally the white supremacist party. Like, this is... One nation are literal Nazis. They are a political party in Australia of quite literal Nazis. They are Nazis. They are bad Nazi people. These are Nazis. And they are passing legislation in the Senate. Literal Nazis. Anyway, please explain. One nation are literal Nazis. They're the people who are like, if you don't love it, leave or we'll put you in concentration camps. and they have an actual political party that has support. Enough support to pass a motion in the Senate. That should scare you. Okay? And this is, again, my tiny little first stepping stone to the same kind of shit that the UK and America has been doing with regards to anti-trans legislation. In the UK, for example, the puberty blockers thing, which has recently, fortunately, good news, positive news for trans folks. Positive news for trans folks. Oh yeah, Nazis are absolutely worldwide. Absolutely, yes. Let me think. Where was it? Where was the UK news? UK news. Some of the legislation... Where was it? The puberty blockers thing in the UK, right? You might have recalled back in December, in the UK, they banned prescription of puberty blockers to transgender teenagers. And now it's been rescinded just a bit. Now actual, like, loving parents of their trans kids can go and seek medical treatment and get their trans kid, on puberty blockers. But it still has to be the parent that gets the prescription for their kid. So, not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, because there are going to be a lot of transphobic parents in the UK, absolutely. But it's a step in the right direction. It's a teeny tiny step in the right direction. You know, we're getting there. Anyway, yeah, Australia is a very casually racist country. It absolutely is. It feels like, and don't get me wrong, there's certainly people who are outwardly hatefully racist, but a lot of the racism I've experienced in Australia, a lot of the racism that I've seen in Australia, they treat it like a joke. There's so many racist jokes that just casually get thrown around in conversation. That's the way that I have seen the racism in Australia. Don't get me wrong, there are absolutely outright hateful racists in this country, but a lot of people in Australia just treat anyone who is not white as a joke. And their justification is always, oh, well, I joke about everybody. Oh, and the whites too. Haha, don't you hate when the white people read the newspaper? Haha, they're whiteys. And then they'll make it like an overt joke against Asians or something like that. Damn white people reading newspapers, like... Hello, Dark Thoughts. I missed you. Totally needed that voice pipe up again. A lot of racism in Australia just gets swept under the rug. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. I know people who think asexual is a mental disorder. There are a lot of people who think any divergent sexuality or gender identity is a mental disorder. And unfortunately, one of the reasons, especially with regards to being trans, that we are treated as though being transgender is a mental disorder is because gender dysphoria is a mental disorder. You know, in the same way that body dysmorphia is a mental disorder. You know, we look at our bodies and we are intensely discomforted by the presence of certain aspects of it. And you can draw the conclusion of what those are. And that is a mental disorder. Gender dysphoria is a mental disorder. Being transgender is not a mental disorder. You know, and with regards to sexuality, none of those are mental disorders. That's just how we are. And it's important to remember that mental disorders are defined by how... what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like how typical you are in society. So if you are any sort of neurotypical, what that actually is at the end of the day is, psychologically speaking, you are being treated as though you are lesser for circumstances within your brain that make you not completely 100% functional according to the capitalistic system under which we live. So I, as an autistic person, have a severe difficulty working in typical work environments, you know, or in learning. I have learning disabilities as well as a result of all of this. And that, to the rest of society, makes me mentally ill. I'm mentally disordered because I am not ordered enough to function like most people, right? So we have to take that whole idea of what a mental disorder is with a grain of salt. There's a lot to unpack there. Anyway, gotta go semi-quiet for a minute. Head's going somewhere bad. Feel well, Draco, is the best I can say. I am a transgender woman, yes. Wouldn't you have to consume nothing but soy for that to even possibly be a thing? Wait, what? Hang on. Guy, refuses to consume soy products because he thinks they're going to make him weak because PC soy boy snowflake. So, the soy boy thing is especially ridiculous because the amount of soy you would need to consume to get the same effect as my estrogen is excessive. There is simply no way you would be able to consume enough soy, enough of the estrogen in soy, which is minimal. Like, it's just, people are so ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. A disorder just means something that causes you distress and impairs your ability to function. Like depression is a disorder. It's a really broad thing, yes. And we define disorders by how functional we are in society. That's the way that disorders are defined. If I, for example, like I need a bit of extra support if I were to go into a traditional job or a traditional learning environment. I'm finding that now with my current learning situation. I'm struggling already, and I'm only in the first term, and it's clear I'm going to need help to get through this course. And our disorders are defined, by not just our own discomfort, but by how society sees our validity as a person, right? Fucking hate Isaac Butterfield. Yeah, I hate Isaac Butterfield. He's a dickhead. He spreads a lot of really bad messages in his content, quite frankly. Sorry, Queen, that's alright. Phage, welcome in. And you sadly missed the end of BioShock, but it was really just done and done. Like, we got to the end of it, and then it just ended. It was kind of, yeah. The vegan diet crowd that says throw out all the meds and eat green is just like, don't take HRT, just eat 50 kilos of soy. Yeah. That is the intent, actually, Fallen, yes, quite frankly. When we start to break it down, when we start to look at the way we categorize mental disorders, is mental disorders to a lot of, for example, a lot of workplaces will see someone who is mentally ill, generally speaking, they'll see them as a lesser candidate. If you've got 10 candidates and one of those candidates has a significant mental illness like depression, if you are asked to list any mental disorders, you're going to be seen as a less worthwhile candidate amidst those that don't have listed mental disorders. That's simply a fact of how these things work. They look at disordered people as lesser in terms of their capacity to function in the workplace, right? More offended by Butterfield's Kevin Hart School of Comedy. Maybe if I'm loud enough, I'm funny. Oh, I know. Kevin Hart's not funny. He's just not funny. And same with Butterfield. I've watched a number of his videos, and occasionally he'll get a joke that hits, but the rest of the time it's just, I'm loud and I'm shaking my beard around and I've got an Australian accent. It's fucking annoying. You would need to drink Olympic-sized swimming pools for the estrogen from soy. Anyway, where were we? Have I watched the soy H-bomb thing? No, I should. I love H-bomb. He's great. I love H-bomber guy. Fantastic. Is this about workplace candidacy? Pretty much. We're talking about mental disorders and workplace candidacy and the way that the workplace and the workforce treats mentally ill people. Doctors have suggested that you might have ADHD, but nothing ever really happened about it. Hate gender dysphoria is considered a mental issue. It's a physical one. It's a physical one. Well, yes. Yes and no, I suppose. It is, but it isn't. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because it does affect us in a traumatic psychological way. I look at my body sometimes and I'm slowly losing a bit of the dysphoria. I definitely used to have a lot more dysphoria. I'm honestly so glad I came out during winter because I have this big cyberpunk samurai jumper sweater thing. I just lived in that for ages when I came out because I hated my body so much. And nowadays, you might have guessed if you've seen my Instagram or my Twitter, I like my body a lot more. So you can definitely move past symptoms of dysphoria for certain. Someone said you become weak from eating soy because it has phytoestrogen. It's like saying sea lions are a kind of lion. Oh god. Yeah, mentally ill workers are seen as a pay liability in most corporate viewpoints. They're seen as you're seen as more of an expense than other workers. A mentally ill worker a physically or mentally disabled worker is seen as more of an expense for the company, and thus they don't want to spend that expense. Now, of course, there are legislations in place which are generally speaking like quotas. They have to fit a certain level of disability hiring practices to make it seem like they're a more inclusive work environment at the end of the day. But there are certain workplaces that just simply do not abide by those things, you know. If you think about it, you get abused severely and get PTSD by no fault of your own, and now you are less valuable. Absolutely. Yeah. Serious about oh, I know. It's just hilarious though. That's the thing. It's just hilarious. That people think soy is actually going to give you man tits or something along those lines. And if that had any truth, I would have started eating a soy-based diet a long time ago. Don't want to derail conversations. What have you sent me? Judge Judy shares a laugh during a February 2020 case. I think I've seen this. Looks familiar. Let's have a look at this. Hang on.
Mr. Gonzalez, you wanted to have your girlfriend and your former fiance all under the same roof. And surprise, surprise, that didn't work out. But
just the way you put it.
What?
Just the way you put it, I'm like.
You know, I sort of like my husband's ex-wife. Nice lady. I could do a dinner when it's a family function. I could be cordial. I kiss her on the cheek. She kisses me on the cheek. For a graduation, for a wedding, everybody plays nice. My husband ever said to me, listen, Suzanne needs a place to stay. We have a big house. You'll hardly see him. I would send him to the local mental health facility.
Oh, fuck. Okay. That was good. Alright, I'm going to take a quick break because we've been going for about 2 hours. I'm going to take a quick break and we'll come back to this because this is good stuff. So, don't go away, friendos. Talk amongst yourselves quietly. Don't be loud, don't be noisy. Don't throw things in the class, okay? Don't throw things. And, Jonathan, if I hear you making those armpit farts again, there will be consequences. I don't know. Can you? You're not legally allowed to leave, and this is enforced by firearms. By helicopter, by armed aircraft. It's actually enforced. Let me just move my wine glass so I don't knock it over as I do this zoom. If you try to leave class, it's enforced by attack helicopter. I can make that joke because I'm trans. You're not. Fuckheads. Anyway. I feel particularly ripped off by that little light box. Look at that pathetic shit. Look at that. Look at that. You can barely tell that's on. Look at this piece of fucking garbage. Look at this shit. It says queer as fuck. It says queer AF. I should change it so it says the Rogue Room, but I can't be bothered. It's like, I paid $5 for this, and it barely lights up. Yeah, you would look at it, but you can't see the cunt. I'm gonna get some batteries for my my portal gun. I'll put some batteries in that. Get that lit up for stream. My Doom guy, my little not Doom guy. My what's he called? My Doom. The name's on the tip of my tongue. Of that particular enemy, the Doot guy with the rocket thingies on his shoulders. His little platform doesn't light up anymore. The batteries are run out. Everything needs batteries, dude. I need to just like get... I bought a power board. You can see this down here. Not a Hell Knight, no. Oh, that's not going to help. There's a power board down there beside my shelving. I'm going to get some lights at some point. I'm going to get some lights. I'm going to put them on the backs of these shelves. I'm going to connect them with connectors. I'm going to plug it into there, and we're going to have all of my shelves lit up with some RGB lights, and it's going to be sick, mate. It's going to be fucking sick. How's it going, Heave? How is it hanging? What's going on? We're talking Trans Day of Visibility, because we finished BioShock Infinite. Not BioShock Infinite. We finished the first BioShock. The first BioShock. I do not have the second, and the only copy of Infinite I have is on, like, either PS3 or Xbox. So, let's have a quick gander at something, shall we? It's great. I'm glad to hear it's great. That's awesome. Well, there we go. I've finally gone all the way through BioShock. So we can tick that off the list. We can tick that off the backlog. And we're going to come back to talking about Trans Day of Visibility in a moment. Here is a game I want to play, but it's not finished yet. Gloomwood. If I recall correctly, this is... very, very inspired by Thief. This game, like the original Thief. It's got a very retro art style to it. It's very fun. I've played a bit of it. The demo, that is, not the full game. And yeah, I can't wait for this to come out. Anyways. Does Steam still allow sharing accounts between family? I think they do, to an extent. Would you kindly tick off the list BioShock? So... I finished BioShock Infinite a while ago. I'm not really interested in playing it again. Let me have a look here. Why do I have Ghost Runner demo in my, I don't need this anymore. I've got Ghost Runner demo in my list of games, and I'm like, I own Ghost Runner, so I'm not going to play the demo anymore. I've got the full game, and it's fucking sick, and you should play it. Stuck in a Minecraft right now, playing the mod. Sounds good. What kind of mods you got going? What were we thinking? We were going to like go through a list of games that I could install that we could play on our Wednesday night write-off streams. And New Vegas is on the list. I'm going to put up a poll, but I need some other options in case folks want to actually vote for something else. New Vegas is on there. I feel like everyone's going to vote New Vegas, and I'm trying to think like what else can I put on the list as like games that could be our little, you know, change of pace kind of thing. Because originally we got into BioShock as a bit of a political exploration of Randian philosophy to start off with. I've heard good things about Metro 2033. I've got that on here. It's late, you might go to bed. It sounds good, Fox. Have a good rest. Plow Outer Wilds. Plow Outer Wilds. Play Outer Wilds. I could. I certainly could. I don't have it though. Another problem is I don't actually own it. There's a lot of games I don't own. Froggy time, welcome to the Rogue Room. Hope you're doing well. I don't own Outer Wilds. I was looking at The Outer Worlds as an option because I did previously have that on Game Pass or whatever it was, but I no longer have Game Pass, so that's not an option. What is Polarity, and when did I get this game? I can't even click on the store page for it. What is Polarity? Takes it to the next level, demanding all your wits and reflexes. Interesting. It's a puzzle game. Looks a bit like Portal. Sorry, Portal. It says 0.5 hours on record. I've never played this in my life. I have never played this game. What the fuck? It says I have 0.5 hours on record. I never played this. I don't even realize I had it. What? How'd that happen? I think my friend Jeffrey at one stage came over to my place, and because I had to go out and do stuff, I left him to his own devices with my computer. I think he went through my games catalog and played a few things. I think he played like a bit of Hello Neighbor and a couple of other games on here. I think he played the KFC dating sim. I never got around to playing the KFC dating sim. Can I get you a game list? Is there a way that I can like copy my current game list into a text file? But like, this is why I want to put it to a poll, is because I want to get a few ideas of what we could play through, and then pick a few specific ones. Steam would never lie. Why would Steam do that? Why would Steam lie to me? How dare it? I'm going to uninstall BioShock because we've finished it. I have no reason to keep it on my system. Anywho. I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything else that I could particularly put on there. I don't know. Oh, Dragon Age was one that we were thinking of. So, for example, Fallout New Vegas, Dragon Age Origins, maybe Morrowind. Could do like a bit of a older game sort of thing. Because BioShock was an older game, of course. Dragon Age Origins is kind of nice. There's at least 3 that we could choose from to start us off. You know what? I never played Half-Life or Half-Life 2 either. I'm one of those people that never played any of the Half-Life games. Morrowind, how can you defeat a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. I'll have to friend you on Steam. I believe that's a thing. There we go. You can add me on Steam as a friend, folks, if you'd like to. Oh, I got to update this. I was featured on another episode of the Inconsolables podcast recently. I'll have to change that at some point. If Sammy is still there, Sammy would probably have the link. But I can't. I could go searching for it at the minute, but it would take me a moment to find it, and I'm lazy. And we should probably come back to the Trans Day of Visibility discussion, because that's what the title is, and I've sort of dipped off the discussion of Trans Day of Visibility. So shall we actually have a bit of a discussion on this particular topic? Because I have an article here on the conversation from 2 days ago. And I think it's worth delving into. I think it's worth discussing this concept of what is Trans Day of Visibility and how does it help the trans community, and how do I get nails like this girl has, because my goodness, I need some nails. Also, I ordered a trans flag lanyard. I don't know why I ordered a lanyard. I don't do anything that requires me wearing a lanyard. And I also ordered a trans flag. Neither of these things have arrived yet. Neither of these things have arrived yet. I am disappointed. Alright. Let's talk about Trans Day of Visibility offers a chance for community to stand in solidarity and support. The pandemic has made it difficult for trans people to support one another in person or celebrate important physical changes with friends. True. That's a weird thing that I feel like I should talk about this to some extent. You know, I am experiencing some physical changes with regards to my hormones and stuff, which is good. It's a positive. And I do tend to message a couple of very close friends about it on a regular basis, talking about those changes. And in one particular circumstance, I was hanging out with a friend recently and was able to demonstrate in some respects. It's a weird thing to think about, but it's like, being open about the fact that, my body is changing because of the hormones what I'm on. I'm going through a second adolescence, dude. It's weird. Anyway, it's weird and it's good. It's amazing. Visibility within the transgender community is often a catch-22, especially for trans people of color or those living in rural conservative areas. Hiding one's identity can be a damaging experience and increase feelings of isolation, stigma, and shame. But standing out as a trans person can make someone a target for discrimination or violence. I suppose I should feel lucky that I'm in more of a suburban area. There's a lot more people around, so I'm not as visible as if I were to be living in one of these rural conservative areas. I have been on hormones for about 4 or 5 months now. I think I started in October. I started on T blockers, and in November I started on estrogen, if I'm not mistaken. I do have the, there was a tweet I posted where I had the estrogen, and I think I bookmarked it, but I cannot distinctly remember. It's too far back to find it at this point. Oh yeah, November is when I started estrogen. So about a month before that I started on T blockers, and now I do feel a lot better. I feel way better. It affects your emotional state in a very positive way, I find. But that's just entirely from a personal perspective. It's entirely anecdotal. Someone else might have a different experience on hormones. Generally speaking, though, I've heard a lot of positive things from trans folks about being on hormones. So it's a good thing. Generally speaking, it's a good thing. Yeah, it's a no-win situation for a lot of trans women. Anyway, yeah, Euphoria. Suburban. Am I a suburbanite? Your E-Day is 25th of November? That's awesome. I can't wait till I'm like a few years on hormones and see like what the results are, what the difference is in like a year's time, or like after I've been on them for a year, like November this year. I'm going to be interested to see how different things are compared to how it was just a few months ago, honestly. Anyway, as a trans man who studies transgender health and well-being, I believe Trans Day of Visibility, celebrated annually on March 31st, is an important day that allows community members to come together and find support and solidarity by knowing they are not alone. Funnily enough, I distinctly remember a few years ago, at university, the same university I'm attending now, they had posters up and like little stands, little bits of advertisement saying Trans Day of Visibility is coming. I think it was Trans Day of Visibility. And weirdly, this year, walking around the university, I saw no mention of Trans Day of Visibility, which is kind of upsetting. As a trans person attending said uni, they weren't doing like any kind of celebration or whatever. And it's not because of COVID, because they have done little events recently about other stuff. It's usually just like a sausage sizzle, but, I want to have a sausage sizzle for Trans Visibility Day. What are you doing, you losers? Anyway, no mobile apps are good to use. Need to get your computer. Oh, well, that sucks. Celebrations history. Trans Day of Visibility acknowledges the contributions made by people within the trans, non-binary, and gender-diverse communities, hereafter referred to as trans to encompass anyone who doesn't identify with their sex assigned at birth. TDOV has been marked annually since 2009. Before then, the only day of recognition the trans community had was Trans Day of Remembrance, a day of mourning held on November 20 to commemorate trans people who have died in the previous year, which is sad that we even need that, but we do need that, and it's very important. Trans Day of Visibility, then, is an attempt, as the trans community puts it, to give us our roses while we're still here. Oh, that makes me sad. Oh my god. Oh, dude. That's a fucking punch in the tits. Jesus. I get it, but still,
another round.
Feeling the pride. Starved of thighs. Thank you for the 10 bits. There has been some development in that area. Yeah, there has been some development in that area. I don't know how much potential it has to get bigger. It's hard to tell in this jumper because it's so big. So It's such a big sweater. I love it. Rachel Crandall, a trans activist from Michigan, organized the first Trans Day of Visibility. By 2014, the day was being celebrated internationally. But in 2015, I, along with other local trans activists in Omaha, hosted the first of several annual events for our local community that featured panels, Q&As, and support groups for family members, trans people themselves, and cisgender or cis people, which refers to people who identify with the sex they were assigned at birth, who wanted to learn how to be better allies to the trans community. Some of us wore t-shirts that said, "Ask me I'm trans" on the day of the event to facilitate dialogue between the trans and cis communities. And this kind of comes back to what I'm trying to do more often nowadays. I've been an aggressive, sarcastic asshole with certain people coming and asking certain questions, because a lot of the time those questions are asked in bad faith, and I expect that. I expect people to come in trolling me with the trans athletes thing, and I'm trying to not be as snappy. It's a learning process, honestly, because I don't want to be one of those people that's like, "Oh, you've got Google, I'm not here to educate you." Like, I can understand trans people wanting to take that stance because it just gets exhausting, it just gets tiring. But I feel like as someone who is beginning to understand these issues more and more and more, that I'm like, no, you know what, I do want people to understand these things. And even if someone is coming in trolling, I can take the opportunity to educate everybody else in chat about why this issue is an issue, why we have these particular viewpoints on this, why this, that, and the other. You know, there's a number of things that I can open the discussion floor about, even if someone is coming in arguing in bad faith. Hey, Sad, how's it going? Sure, not the only thing you have that's big, so you exude that big what energy? Big what? Big pussy energy. Fighting stigma. Visibility as a transgender person is not a one-size-fits-all approach for people within the trans community. Some people may embrace visibility while others, for comfort, safety, or other deeply personal reasons, may not feel comfortable being visibly trans. Big titty energy, please. After all, threats of violence within the trans community are not uniformly distributed. Trans women of color are most at risk as they often face multiple forms of discrimination, including transphobia, racism, classism, misogyny, and misogynoir, the unique misogyny that black women face. Because of job discrimination, roughly 20% of trans people engage in the underground economy, not the background economy, including commercial sex work, and may confront additional transphobic discrimination as a result of their work. tdov is an attempt to break these cycles of violence and discrimination against trans people. Celebrating trans people during a pandemic. To say this past year has been difficult for the trans community would be an understatement. During this period, trans people who have been largely unable to provide in-person support to one another, and those who have had physical changes, can't fully celebrate those changes with friends. Sorry, my nose is sniffling. Furthermore, the past year has seen an escalation in legislation that targets trans people with sports bans and attempts to limit access to healthcare. Thank you, Botwick, for the trans liberation now. Over 20 states introduced at least one anti-trans bill in 2020, which is fucking disturbing and worrying as an Australian, especially with that One Nation bill. I'm worried that it could escalate beyond that. That kind of coordinated policy campaign against a very small community, estimated to be less than 1% of the US population, sends a very specific message to the trans community that we are not welcome. It's a message that I believe could be counterbalanced if we could gather in support of one another. I can attest that there's something powerful about being in a room full of trans people. The love, support, and understanding is unlike anything I've experienced. But because of the continuing global pandemic, most Trans Day of Visibility celebrations will be held virtually, as they were last year. For example, the National Center for Trans Equality, the largest nonprofit group advocating for trans rights, will host an online awards ceremony honoring trans leaders. At the University of Nebraska in Omaha, we're hosting Dominique Morgan, a black trans singer-songwriter, in a night of music and storytelling. Trans Day of Visibility focuses on trans people, but is not exclusive to the trans community. Allies of the trans community can also take part by reaching out to a trans friend, I can't read, and sending their support. Those who live in a state that is trying to enact anti-trans legislation can write their state legislator to oppose those bills. Within their social circles, allies can be visible and vocal supporters of trans people. This is honestly just encouraging me on... This is encouraging me to seek out local trans organizations in my area, and I'm definitely going to be doing this at some point in the not too distant future, because I feel like I'm worried this same kind of legislative body horror that the government is enacting upon trans people in the UK or the US is going to come to Australia before long, and we're going to have shit to deal with. And anyway, minorities don't have to bear the emotional labor to educate others about the discrimination they face or any misconception about their gender identity, for example. However, it's still encouraged to educate others, even if it comes with dealing with bad faith shitters. You're absolutely right. G'day Fester, how's it going? Yeah, we got a bit of the last of my, what's it called, pink Moscato. The last of it. I should have got some more. I bought this blood orange flavored wine, and it's so boring. It's just boring. There's nothing interesting about it. I've drank it a couple of times, and I'm like, this is a very dull wine. It's a very uninteresting wine. Like, why am I drinking this? Which is disappointing because I like the blood orange flavor, but it's like, there's nothing interesting about it, you know? There's nothing particularly interesting about it. So let's have a look. Very flavorful. They're mostly used for color. Well, there you go. That might be why. Okay, so let's have a look here at trans rights in Australia. Trans pride worldwide. Protections for trans people by state. The ACT has change of sex on birth certificates or recognized detail certificates. So you can do change of sex, yes, in New South Wales and Norfolk Island. Why is Norfolk Island a separate entity here? In the ACT in New South Wales, South Australia, Victoria, and Western Australia, it's a straight yes. In the Northern Territory, you can change your birth certificate, change of sex on birth certificate. Yes on birth certificates only, no recognised detail certificates issued. Annotation on birth certificates only in Queensland, so that doesn't sound great. Tasmania is birth certificates only. Is sex reassignment surgery optional? For most places it seems like yes, and I'm in one of the fucking states where it's not. You have to actually manually get sex reassignment surgery before you can change your sex on your birth certificate. Fuck that shit. That's ridiculous. Yes, in the Northern Territory, Tasmania, Victoria. Western Australia allows hormonal therapy as an alternative treatment for a legal gender change. I'd take that, dude. I'm on hormones. Can I just do the hormones? I'm moving to Western Australia. There we go. Or fuck it, like, I'll move to, well, not Queensland. I would move to Victoria, but they're still going through the COVID shit. Forced divorce? What the forced divorce? What does that mean? What? That has something to do with transition, apparently. Non-binary gender recognized, yes in ACT, New South Wales and Northern Territory. No in Queensland. Which, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, is where that legislation for the Senate with the gender non-conforming language thing, that's where that passed, was in Queensland. So they don't like the idea of non-binary identities, and then it's yes in South Australia, Tasmania and Victoria, no in Western Australia. Anti-discrimination laws concerning gender identity, fortunately yes across the board, but how long will that last? You know, how long is that going to stick around, given that, given how the world is changing? Is it forced or fourth? You have to have 4 divorces before you can have sex reassignment surgery and change your sex on your birth certificate. Yeah, I'm curious about this forced divorce situation. Like, did it used to be a thing where if somebody did announce that they're transgender, that they had to divorce their spouse because, you know, there wasn't gay marriage until like the last 10 years? Is that what it was? Because, you know, now you're identifying as the opposite gender or whatever it is. And you're not legally allowed to be gay married back in 1972? Like, what? Is that what it was? Is there a panic defense law in Australia where if a man has sex with a trans person and murder/harms them out of panic? The thing is, that panic defense, which has been repealed in some states in the US, I don't know if it applies in Australia, but generally speaking, it is a defense you can use. But if I recall correctly, the history of the panic defense, which is the trans panic and the gay panic defense in court, have almost uniformly been thrown out in court cases. So if someone murders somebody and then claims trans panic, claims gay panic, it has been almost uniformly thrown out of court and dismissed. And it's not actually a legible protection. So it's one you can use, but chances are the judge is going to be like, no, you fucking murdered somebody, you dumb cunt. At best, maybe you'll get a manslaughter charge. So that is fortunate, but I'd rather not have trans people be dead. Thank you. What else have we got? It was still in legislation in Queensland until like the last 10 years, but yeah, it was often disregarded. Yeah, so like it's a thing, but it's not a thing, sort of, which is good. And of course, you got Riley Grace Rochon, who has been fighting for civil rights in the US and actively working to make sure that the trans panic defense is completely repealed and not even usable in a court of law. So she's had some success in that regard, if I'm not mistaken. Not Riley Grace ContraPoints. Riley Grace Rochon. Where's her docs? Oh, excuse me. Here is an article. An opinion piece. I was published in the Maryland Matters on getting rid of the trans panic defense. Here we go. Guest commentary. Yeah, my autofill knows me. So here is, I guess, guest commentary. I guess this is Riley writing this, I'm assuming, or is it writing about Riley? I can't tell. Anyway, when was this published? This was this year, just last month. Okay. This year, Delegate Julie Palakovich Carr introduced House Bill 231, establishing that the discovery or perception of or belief about another person's race, color, national origin, sex, gender identity, or sexual orientation, whether or not accurate, does not constitute legally adequate provocation to mitigate a killing from the crime of murder to manslaughter or an assault from the crime of assault in the first degree to assault in the second degree or another lesser crime. There are 18 states that have never thrown out a trans or gay panic defense. Oh, really? That one's flagrantly contrary to what I've read. That's not good. This bill was introduced previously during the 2020 Maryland General Assembly session as House Bill 488. This last session, this bill received support from the Baltimore Transgender Alliance, Lambda Legal, Maryland Psychological. I keep reading it as Psychosocial. Psychological Association, a bunch of associations in the ACLU of Maryland. The bill received almost no opposition and passed through the House of Delegates. Unfortunately, like many bills in similar situations, the onset of the coronavirus pandemic and subsequent quarantine caused the legislature to end early and prevented this bill from passing into law. It is absolutely imperative that HB 231 passes into law this year. According to the LGBTQ bar, the LGBTQ plus panic defense is a legal strategy that asks a jury to find that a victim's sexual orientation or gender identity/expression is to blame for a defendant's violent reaction, including murder. It is not a freestanding defense to criminal liability, but rather a legal tactic used to bolster other defenses. When a perpetrator uses an LGBTQ plus panic defense, they are claiming that a victim's sexual orientation or gender identity not only explains, but excuses a loss of self-control and the subsequent assault. By fully or partially acquitting the perpetrators of crimes against LGBTQ plus victims, this defense implies that LGBTQ plus lives are worth less than others. Excuse me. Countless legal scholars have come out against the LGBTQ plus panic defense. In 2008, Professor Cynthia Lee published a paper, The Gay Panic Defense, in the George Washington University Law Review Journal. There she argued that gay panic arguments are problematic because they reinforce and promote negative stereotypes about gay men as sexual deviants and sexual predators, as well as that they capitalize on an unconscious bias in favor of heterosexuality, which is prevalent in today's heterocentric society. I couldn't, for some reason I forgot what the word society was supposed to sound like. Does anyone know how you pronounce society? I forgot. How do you pronounce society, folks? We literally live in a society. How, like, alcohol. You give me life. I hope you know that I love you more than any partner I've ever had. And you smell so much better too. I've dated some rancid chicks. I'm an awful person. Don't watch me. I'm bad. Or do watch me. Society, Spooky Benji, welcome to the Rogue. I'm just self-deprecating and insulting everyone I've ever dated. Who, by the way, most of the women I've dated have been lovely. Far better than I've ever deserved. Let's throw that out there. Far better than I've ever deserved. I've had so much socialism that I forgot how to say society. In a society! I'm awfully funny. Yeah, mental issues are a thing, but if someone being gay made you snap and kill them, you don't deserve to breathe free air anymore. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, it's always been a non-defense, is the thing. It's just outright saying this thing about this person. It's the same as, like, if you snapped and murdered someone because they only had one arm. Right? That's what it is. It's like you don't like a factor of a person and somehow that makes you... If that makes you a violent person... If you look at a redhead and you murder them because they have red hair, I'm sorry, but you do not belong in functioning society. That's simply how that works. So if you snap and kill someone because they're trans or gay, you don't deserve to be a free person. End of discussion. Anyway. This person did a thing I don't like. I don't deserve punishment, yeah. So far I've been abused and sexually harassed by an open gay person. Drunk gays... just the ones you needed to say, no, stop, go, you're drunk. If you get the mental instability treatment in Norway, you're most likely looking at sitting the rest of your life in an institution. Which in some cases, you know, is better. This all comes around to the whole discussion around, like, rehabilitation versus incarceration. Because I do think there is, you know... I have been saying outright right now that, you know, certain people do belong in prison for committing violent crimes as a result of their response to another person's existence. But we do, like, I don't want to have the discussion around incarceration versus rehabilitation at the moment. But we are discussing it, I suppose. You know, I suppose, yeah, dependent on the crime, I think the criminal justice system, especially in places like America, is entirely too strict, especially given that, you know, marijuana got legalized in certain states in the United States, and all of a sudden there are dispensaries everywhere run by white people, and yet how many black people are still in prison for distribution of marijuana? Like, that is a thing that should have been rectified the moment that it passed into law that you could legally distribute recreational marijuana at a dispensary. Anyway, it's neither. We're getting into a whole thing now that is completely off track with the panic defense. Let's come back to this. In 2020, Lee published a follow-up paper, The Trans Panic Defense Revisited, in the George Washington UL Review. There, the professor extended the discussion of the panic defense to how it affected trans people in general and trans women of color in particular. She explains that a murder defendant asserting trans panic will claim that the discovery that the victim was a transgender female, an individual thought to be male when born who identifies as a woman, provoked him into a heat of passion, causing him to lose his self-control. Similarly to how the gay panic defense relied on negative stereotypes about gay men, Lee argues that this does the same with trans women by inappropriately validating bias against trans individuals when we live in a pluralistic society that should be tolerant and accepting of all individuals. Lee concludes claiming education alone is insufficient to ensure that juries reject the trans panic defense, and that legislative bans are necessary to redress the defense. No dispensary should profit off the sale of marijuana while people are still in prison because of marijuana. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. For other scholarship arguing the detriment of the queer panic defense and looking at specific instances where it has caused harm, see the following publications, all of those publications. For another kind of scholarship arguing against this defense from a philosophical perspective, Natalie Wynn, owner of ContraPoints, made a video called Are Traps Gay? In reference to related internet political discussion. In that video, Ms. Points... I love that. Ms. Points argues the idea that trans women are actually men trying to trap straight men into having sex with them is an internet manifestation of the same mentalities which motivate trans panic murders. Because cis men may wrongly believe that trans women are men, experiencing attraction towards someone who they later discover is trans may lead them to have a violent reaction in order to defend heterosexuality. What does this remind you of? Does this remind you of anything that might have recently been a really big transphobic internet meme that started on TikTok? Does this remind you of anything, mate? Does this remind you of anything? Super Straights. Anyway, this comes back to the fucking Super Straights shit. What's going on, Retro? How you doing, mate? This comes back to the Super Straights thing. Wherein... Why do I have my Twitter open? Wherein the person who posted the TikTok that made the rounds in the first place, that sort of kicked off the whole Super Straight debacle, made the argument, made the philosophical discussion between himself and another hypothetical friend, because we know the guy who posted this TikTok doesn't have any fucking friends. He posted the thing where he's like, oh, my friends have been saying to me, would you date a trans woman? And I would say, well, no, I wouldn't date a trans woman because she has a penis. That's a dude. Like, quite literally, that's his terminology used. He goes, that person has a penis. That's a dude. Right? And then he goes, oh, well, that's transphobic. And then he goes and discusses, well, no, I'm super straight, which means I only date people who have the same genitalia, whatever. Like, you know what I mean. You get the point. You get the stupid fucking point. And where was I going with this? This is rather relevant. Thank you for the hydration. I think I need it, Paul. And then 4chan took it and ran with it, and it turned into a total Nazi meme, so... So wait, you got a crash now. Radio Arena sounds good. Yeah, like as you were saying, Draco, you never understood the anger on that one. You get a girl, you take her home. Like if you meet a girl and you are interested in her in a sexual manner from the get-go, you're interested in a girl sexually. You're looking at her and you're sensing her out. You're vibing with her. You go and approach her and maybe you buy her a drink and you two are chatting and you are getting to know each other. Maybe you start feeling each other up a little bit. You're attracted to that person. You've already experienced attraction to that person. You know you like them. If the penis breaks that issue, you've got some personal issues you need to work out. It's not their fault. That's on you, fam. That's on you. Because it's clear you were already attracted to them from the get-go. But you have this preconceived notion that anyone that is hyper-feminine and is hyper-attractive to you personally should have a vagina. Yeah, people are point-blank obsessed with biological essentialism, absolutely. And yeah, that comes back around to this point here. The discovery that someone is trans may lead them to have a violent reaction in order to defend their heterosexuality. It's not actually about what they're sexually attracted to. It's about their pride. Is what it is. It's about their pride. You know? You can actually remember a pre-4chan era. I've drifted in and out of the internet over the years. It's only the last few years where I've been like hyper-focused on what's going on online. Which has been interesting. Retro, welcome to the Rogue Room. I used to use MSN Messenger way back when, and Sims bulletin boards. There was a place called Mike Inside, which was primarily a Sims forum, a Sims bulletin board that I hung out on, and I met a few people on there, joined a few like chat communities. It was fun, it was interesting, it was different, you know. AOL chat rooms, things were different back then, man. Second Life, I never checked out Second Life. Made a list of games you could play on your own. Yeah, you can give it to me to look it over. Play that I own, yeah. Send it to me. Boomers? Well, yeah, I suppose boomers factor into this in a way. Because a lot of it's interesting to think about like the way that the representation of gender and the roles in which we play in society now, being in a much more individualist society compared to, say, back when my grandparents were my age or younger. It's rather interesting to look at the way that we represented, for example, what are some good examples? What am I thinking of? Like, the way we represented our role in society was a lot more strict and narrow 70 years ago, right? It was a lot more strict and narrow 70 years ago. And things have opened up, and individuality, especially in the West, has become a much more prominent thing. which allows people to explore a lot more with their sex and their gender and their sexuality. So, and it's not that trans people didn't exist until the last 70 years. Trans people and gay people have been here the whole fucking time. But, of course, we've lived under regimes throughout modern history where a lot of these people were forced to hide who they really were. And, of course, it made life a lot more difficult for those particular people. Second Life has some awesome sites for the transgender community. IMVU, I remember playing that. That was weird. That was super fucking weird, man, honestly. I liked it at the time because of course I did, but it was still super fucking weird, man. Right now, trans youth need us. Exactly, they do. We need to be speaking out against the things that are being put into place that are harming trans kids in the United States, in the UK, and potentially coming here to Australia because the Nazi Party are actually going out of their way to inform legislation that works against trans people. Yes, I'm just going to refer to One Nation as the Nazi Party from here on out. Also reminding you of how you discovered you were bi. How did you discover you were bi, Draco? It wasn't until you were friends with a trans mask person that you learned toys are freaking great. Can't be a top because panic attacks don't have any issue using toys as a top. Oh, I see. Never understood why people can't just be equal and everyone fine with that. It's primarily because the controlling group in society needs an underclass, needs an other to target, needs an enemy, because the moment you start electing people who are primarily progressive, what is their model? Let's elevate everybody. Let's make everybody comfortable. Let's make sure everyone in society feels welcomed and accepted. But that doesn't benefit conservative mindsets. That doesn't benefit conservative politics. Conservative politics means that there needs to be some kind of enemy that they can distract you with while they're doing all the kinds of shit in legislative situations that you typically wouldn't, like, you wouldn't vote for a lot of conservative politicians if you knew their broader policies beyond the trans kids debate, right? A lot of the stuff that conservatives are doing is reprehensible, absolutely vile, but the trans kids thing is easy to get people fired up over because they come up with these ridiculous arguments in favor of their politics. And meanwhile, you're distracted because there shouldn't be trans girls in school sports. There shouldn't be trans girls in boys' trans girls in there shouldn't be boys in girls' bathrooms is what I'm trying to say. So while you're distracted with that, they're off making under the table deals that, are actively against everybody else in society as well. They're making matters worse for the broader society as well. But they want you to be focused on an enemy so that you're not paying attention to any of that shit. You're focused on the other. You're focused on the enemy. Because the moment you no longer have that enemy, more progressive policies can get into place. And it's also rooted in ignorance, obviously. It's also rooted in just flagrant ignorance, informed by stupidity, stupid opinions that have no reality to them whatsoever, Indigenous societies from all over the world had third genders and their gender roles were very fluid, but they were living in communes, so you don't think people exploring their gender identity is a characteristic of individualist. Oh yeah, it's not about that specifically. It's not about individualistic modern society. It's like, yeah, trans identity has been a thing forever. It's been a thing like gender diversity and sex diversity. Like, if you look at the discussion around the biological sex, a lot of the arguments that these conservatives will use regards to biological gender, like biological, which strictly ignores intersex people and only caters to the idea of there only being two sexes, i.e. two genders, one that is male and can impregnate, the other one that is female. But that's simply not how biology works, and that's simply not how gender works, and we know this. And thus they are able to frame it, because like so many people are only taught that basic biology, the argument they love to use, because so many people are taught that basic biology concept, a lot of them stick to that basic two sexes biology concept, and thus it is easy to point the finger at people who are transgender, people who are gender non-conforming, and say, look at this freak who's not abiding by the things that we told you in primary school were absolutely factual and completely unchanging, right? That's why it's so they can look at someone and say, this is a freak, and then demonize them. You suddenly take someone who is so isolated by themselves and point at them and laugh at them and make them the other. And then all of a sudden, you've got that solidarity amidst the majority who are looking at a minority and pointing and laughing, and it's easy to pass legislation based entirely on that merit. Isn't it wild that people can go on to learn more than just basic science? I know. I'm surprised that, and this is the thing, they are actively fighting against the idea. Like, people who are passing these legislations against trans kids are absolutely going to start passing legislation against the idea of a primary school, what's the phrase, like what's the phrase for like the framework of what you teach kids in a school setting? You know what I mean? Like, they're going to try to legislate, and they have been, I think they have been legislating against schools teaching syllabus. That's the word I'm looking for. They want to legislate against, or curriculum is another one. They want to legislate against a syllabus, a curriculum that will include the sex and gender spectrum, because it's really not that complicated at the end of the day. We watched that video, which, by the way, when I uploaded my VOD that included the clips of Bill Nye the Science Guy. Late to the stream again. How are you, Solace? I hope you're doing well. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. We watched that video of Bill Nye the Science Guy explaining that gender and sex and sexuality are all on spectrums. It was 2 minutes. It was 2 minutes. So you're telling me kids and it was in as layman's terms as you could possibly put it, right? I guarantee you that you could put that into the syllabus, a half-hour lesson on gender, sex, and sexuality spectrums, and you could get that into the heads of 4th graders. They would be able to comprehend that easily. It's not a difficult concept, but they don't want to be teaching that in primary schools, because then that's going to lead to more progressive kids, isn't it? That's going to lead to people who will not vote conservative, and it's all about control. It's all about voting conservative. It's all about making sure those kids grow up so that they vote for dickheads like Big Dan Rodimer, you know, whose entire business model, whose entire thing is built on lies. His entire political campaign is built on falsehoods, designed on misleading people. Oh my god, I can talk? Jesus fucking Christ, how do you stand me? I'm literally like a left-wing Ben Shapiro at this point. I'm just gonna rattle off like 1,000,000 points in 10 minutes. Oh fuck. Sorry if you posted too lewd. No, what? Too lewd? No. Oh, hang on. Let's go back to this, Draco. As you came to the realization that you realized the term bisexual applied to me, this was long before you knew non-binary was a thing, and that one took a lot longer for you to wrap your head around. I can understand that, and this is why we need to, like, this is the thing, right? Left-wing Shapiro, I know. Science doesn't care about your bigotry. Precisely. The thing about, Anyway, how are you doing, by the way, Sabercat? How you going? If Ben Shapiro knew what it was. Have any idea why Lindsay Ellis was bullied off Twitter? Because some people misinterpreted a comment she made as being racist when it wasn't racist. That's why. Anyway, guarantee people will give 0 apps today. Give 0 money to the youth orgs that need help and ignore all our posts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Have I hydrated? I just finished my hydrated. There's none left. And I have posture checked and I have flipped people off. I'll posture check solely for this though. Oh, whoops. Look at my amazing cardigan jumper thingy. Look at this. Is this not the cutest fucking shit in the world? Oh, leg too. I have leg. I love this thing, this jumper, this sweater. It's pretty swag. It's pretty frickin' swag, mate. I have very much leg. I have a lot of leg. They're very, very tanky legs. Should we do a leg show off for a second? How much leg am I allowed to show on Twitch? How much leg can I show on Twitch, mate? Because, like, look at these juicy, tanky, like, look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Glutes, like, tanky legs. I did not think about that. Shush. Shush. You can comment on my legs. Maybe don't comment on my butt, because I don't want to get banned for, like, showing butt, which was just literally my butt in short shorts. But, you know, I've been banned once. Let's not push our luck here, you know? A career that seems nearly impossible to get while trans, an elementary school teacher. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They would be pushing so hard against that. Absolutely. Conservatives would not want trans teen... would not want trans teen school teachers. Trans school teachers. I work out 6 days a week, and I take rest day on Sundays. I'm honestly considering taking everything off on Sundays. I'm considering not even streaming on Sundays. I would like to just... I mean, I'm not doing a Sabbath thing. But I'm honestly just considering doing nothing on Sundays. Nothing. I could use a day off, you know. I tend to be doing everything every day. But yeah, at the moment, I do an upper body day. I start my workout week starts with legs. I do, at the moment, I'm not doing squats anymore. I'm doing leg press. I do leg press, which is like glutes all the way down to like your upper legs and a bit of calves. But like squats and leg press are generally like whole leg motions, right? I do leg press at the moment because, drum roll please, squats produce testosterone, which I mean, leg press does too, but it produces less. I don't want testosterone. And then I do accessory work, so which is like hamstring extensions and what else is there? Hamstring extensions, or is it? I think it's quad extensions and hamstring press or something. I forget. Hamstring curls. So I start with leg press, which is like a whole leg motion. I do accessories, which target specific muscles in the legs. I do calves, as I do 2 sets of calves. And I also do like lunges, which focus on the glutes. And then the next day every day I do 20 minutes of intense bicycle cardio, before I do my workout. And then the second day of my week is core, which is just a bunch of abs and obliques. And the third day is entirely upper body, so I do chest press, shoulders, biceps, triceps, upper back, lower back, all in one session. Because I used to do like 4 upper body days in a week, now I do 2. And I do 2 leg days in a week and 2 core days in a week. Because I don't want to do too much of a heavy focus on my upper body, because I want to lose muscle up here, but I also want to keep it a little bit of muscle. Anyway. I look like a water. Humans are like 70% water, so that's technically factually correct. But anyway, essentially legs, core, and upper body twice a week is what I do. You know why the queer community is so strong? Why? Hit me. And colon, we are talking about trans visibility. We have huge biceps. I gotta use my soundboard more often. Anyway, Trans Day of Visibility is essentially, we want to be visible. Trans Day of Visibility is to make people aware that trans people exist and to talk about transgender related issues. And to try to open up the discussion so people are aware of what's going on and aware of what is affecting trans people in the world today. And it's also a measure of bringing trans people together, which was a lot better before there was a whole pandemic thing, what the United States completely fucked up. 500,000 people plus dead at the moment, by the way, in case anyone missed that. Okay, so Faye just sent me a list of games that we could do as potential stream games. Dear Esther, I didn't realize I had that. Fallout New Vegas, which is already going to be on the list. Goodbye, Deponia. Do I have that? Half-Life, The Binding of Isaac. Not so sure on roguelikes, honestly. Sleeping Dogs is one I am considering, yes. Stalker, I tried Stalker and I was like, eh. Welcome to the Rogue Room column, by the way. Portal, Metro 2033, Surgeon Simulator, that'd be fun. Yeah, conveniently as somebody who has Rogue in her name, I don't like roguelikes very much. I'm not a big fan of them. You haven't unlocked the invisibility cloak, Omar. In a lot of ways, I feel like Trans Day of Visibility is almost Trans Day of Invisibility. It's like we want to open up the discussion around, you know, we did already talk about this a bit. We'll come back to it so that we can, it will bring back up this Trans Day of Visibility article. Acknowledges the contributions made by people within the trans, NB, and gender diverse communities, hereafter referred to as trans. So the trans umbrella includes non-binary and gender diverse people. Trans Day of Visibility has been marked since 2009. And the idea is, like, before then, the only day of recognition the trans community had was Trans Day of Remembrance, a day of mourning held on November 20 to commemorate trans people who have died in the previous year. And then we come back to this quote here: Trans Day of Visibility is an attempt, as the trans community puts it, to give us our roses while we're still here. So it's to raise awareness of trans people and what is affecting them in the world today, and the issues that potentially lead to loss of life amid the trans community in a lot of ways. You know, we want to keep trans people alive, trans adults and trans kids. We want to protect trans kids so that they become trans adults. And in a lot of ways, I would say Trans Day of Visibility is a goal towards trans invisibility, in the sense that we don't want trans people to be invisible. We want trans people to be integrated. We want trans people to just be a part of society and not outcast for the sheer fact of them being transgender. Does that make sense? I hope that clarifies it. Fighting stigma. That's all it is. Just fighting stigma, celebrating trans people, giving us our awareness, and stopping the hatred that has led to a number of trans people being killed because they are transgender is the important part. There have been a number of people, when you bring up that trans people are being killed, some people will like to argue, oh yeah, but like men get killed all the time for whatever reason. How many men get killed for being men? Is the question I want to ask you. Trans people get killed all the time for being transgender. How many men get killed for being men? That's always the argument that gets made. It's like, oh, there's so many men that get murdered all the time. Are they being murdered because they are a man, though? Is that what is getting them killed? Or is it some other conflict? I guarantee you it is almost never because they happen to have a penis and identify with the sex assigned to them at birth. Guarantee you. And that is the major distinction. Anyway, I'm sorry if I'm a little bit ranty and rambly. I have had alcohol. But what breaks your heart is the trans community are fighting for their existence daily. Yes, you can say that about the whole queer community. But today is the Trans Visibility Day. Your day is your day. Your best friend is transitioning FTM and is very open with his journey. You've been there every step of the way, and you would never change him. And I love you for that, Azray. I love you for that. Just went through your Discord DMs to wish happy TDOV to all your trans friends. That's lovely. That's lovely. Visibility is complex, though. It doesn't always equal safety or justice. That is true. But no one should have to fight for existence. To be who they are, the awareness is required to provide a safer future, which is what we want. A safer future for everyone. You know, we want everyone to feel happy and comfortable in the society in which we live, and regrettably, a lot of people are going out of their way to make sure we do not feel happy and comfortable and safe and loved. And that's especially dangerous towards transgender teenagers who... You've been a teenager. I'm sure you've experienced the kind of emotional upheaval that you go through when you're a teen, right? Whether you're trans or cis, doesn't matter. And when I was a teenager, I went through some incredibly dark times. I won't go into details, but I went through some incredibly dark emotional times because hormones, you know, when they're first ramping up in your body, massively change the way your brain works. And when you have a trans kid who is going through that phase of puberty where the hormones are running wild and they realize they're transgender and they realize they might be surrounded by people that absolutely hate them and detest them, this is what leads to trans suicide. When they know that they are going to be ostracized and they know that being able to transition is an impossibility in certain circumstances. Acceptance and letting trans kids be trans kids saves lives. And this is important. We want to be saving trans kids so they become trans adults. This got heavy. The kids need protection from the right-wing psychos from killing them, right-wing families driving their kids to suicide, making them hide in the closet, and the right-wing Senate politicians that make their lives terrifying and miserable. Second biggest cause of suicidal thoughts, yeah. One of the major causes of suicidal ideation is social exclusion. You know, the idea that you have no place in society causes you to feel completely hopeless, completely lost, and you think, well, if I don't have any place, why am I even here? You know? Still remember one moment when you tried to hint ever so slightly that you were straight in school and were essentially shut down, told you were wrong, and certain slurs were used, as they often are. High school is awful enough for people that aren't hetero. Can only imagine the trauma trans kids deal with. Yeah. Been fundraising money for projects like TKO, a lot of projects listed under Trans Justice Funding Project. That's good stuff. Good stuff. I should do a charity stream for trans charities at some point. I'm surprised I have not done it yet. I should do that. It's probably a very good idea. Posted a link to there earlier. Okay, good. Sounds good, Harry Moore. I'm actually thinking of ending it. Ending the stream. Because, yeah, it is getting heavy, but it's also getting late, and I'm drunk and I'm tired. So we might call it there, I think, and go raid someone who is doing a stream. Who's doing a stream, eh? Who's doing a stream, I reckon? Who could be doing a stream, mate? Excuse me. Know a good streamer? Hit me. Who have you got? Who have you got? Oh, Nivena, yes. Nivena, that's how you pronounce it. I know how to pronounce Nivena. Okay, that's a good idea. Been meaning to raid Nivena for a while because I see them on Twitter all the bloody time. Let's raid Nivena. Go say hello. Go be kind, go be polite, go be everything. Don't be an asshole. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. You've been lovely. I have been Abby. I've been wearing this awesome 3/4 sleeve crop top sweater from Valley Girl. It's a medium and it's about $26. And it's really cute and it's purple and I love it and I'm going to now live in it for the rest of the week. The only problem is on my camera it shows up as blue. And I don't know why it does that. It's purple. You can see that my camera can pick up purple. You can tell. My camera knows what purple looks like. And yet it's blue on camera. I don't know. Anyway, thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. You've all been fantastic. I should be live tomorrow night, but I am also considering taking, again, Thursday, Friday off to work on the video because there's a few little bits I've got to wrap up and then we're done with it. But I may not. I may just punch it out during the day. The new video is not going to be out before the end of March because it is past midnight. Good night, everyone. I'll see you when I'm looking at you. I love your faces. Have a good one. Ta-ta.